This is episode number, what did it say? Number 73?
I thought that's
It's
what it
gotta
said.
be, yeah, I think so.
I feel like, after talking to you, I feel like we're not doing enough episodes. Now we're like,
he
now
cranks
we're,
them
now
out.
we're-
Yeah.
He cranks them out.
But my
Now-
quality, much less than yours.
Hey, I
I do
appreciate that.
I do quantity over quality.
for sure.
But you're also a one-man show.
Exactly. It's
So
yeah.
anything at that rate with that like mass and that those minutes takes a lot.
It's like I want to get to my 10,000 hours first. Like the podcast I listened to, I didn't start listening to episode 300, 400. So
Okay.
I just want to like get to
Which
that
one is that
number.
one? Rogan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like
That's
I
still
don't like
early.
to about Rogan that much on podcasts just because of like the fucking
Well, now we kind of got to talk about it.
Exactly. Like it's just like a touchy subject. So when I say like, oh, when I was 16 and I got in a really bad hockey accident, and when I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast, that was the only time I had ever heard someone like want to like talk about bettering themselves. Like before that, I had never heard people talk about bettering themselves. So for him, that's like the person that like I idolized and who taught me to like, you can do what you want and be who you are and become who you are. But now it's a like, one, everybody listens to him, and two, he has such a stigma behind him
Right.
that I don't even like listen to him anymore. But like,
Wow.
I have to be honest in my like how he inspired me and how he would do 5 episodes a week that are 3 hours long. I'm not working as hard as him. Like,
Nah, real shit. Yeah.
And fire. He has a genuine interest that I have yet to see in many podcasts. It's a genuine curiosity to see who is he sitting across from. And he tries to be very unbiased, which I appreciate. If it's a white guy, a black guy, a Chinese guy, if it's a rapper, if it's a governor, if it's whoever it is. But you're right. There has been a big difference in the last 500 episodes, if you will.
Yeah.
But I feel like that comes with the height and the reach that he has. Naturally, like you can hear him censoring himself a lot as well, too, which is kind of annoying because if you're a listener from back in the day, you're like, man, say that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Talk that shit, Rogan. But
that's what you have to do. I was always thinking about that in the way that like big artists like Drake don't put out that much music.
Okay.
But like rappers who are independent put out all the music.
I see. Yeah. Just
like censoring yourself is the way you kind of like grow, I guess. Like you see so many people be like, the way to be a big artist is to be coachable. So you have to decide, are you going to be coachable or are you going to be independent?
Right. Which is tough right now with all these other options to be independent.
Yeah.
And all these other different sides.
We're not live on Facebook, so I went live on Facebook. I don't know why I didn't go live on Facebook. But
are we at YouTube?
We're on YouTube.
For sure.
We're on YouTube and then IG.
On my IG?
They'll sign on here. I'll tell them to go to the YouTube because who doesn't go to the YouTube anyways? You know what I mean? Landon, we got to figure out why we haven't been going on to Facebook. Something's up again. The federales are here.
Who watches Facebook?
A lot of people watch Facebook.
No, you got
Benny was actually talking about like he's more active on Facebook.
That's so weird to me.
Facebook's cooler. It's more.
Yeah, but he's mid-30s. Of course, he's gonna be on Facebook.
So am I, goddammit.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you use Facebook. Yeah. I don't. I'm 24 years old. I'm not gonna use Facebook.
Struggle Mike was goody.
Struggle Mike. I love Struggle Mike.
Yeah.
He's one of the honestly. So I told you I'm not from Buffalo. You thought I was from Buffalo. When I went to Buffalo the first time, it was the day that Buffalo Kids West Side Guns Gallery opened. That was the first time I ever went to Buffalo. And Struggle Mike, he welcomed me to Buffalo like it was my home. Like he let me use his store still to this day to do podcasts.
That's
like
fire.
he honestly, like when I think about who helped me the most in this podcast world, like Struggle Mike's number one.
So what does he do? Does he have a podcast as well?
Struggle Mike, he has like he owns a store with clothing, a recording studio, a grills place, a tattoo place in Buffalo. But he also makes like compilation albums like DJ Khaled and shit. But like he has Khan, he's had Zoo Surf, he's had Benny on so many songs, fucking Boldy, like
That's fine.
He's one of the top
Yeah.
streamed artists in Buffalo, and he doesn't even rap or produce.
That's pretty dope.
Shout out Struggle Mike.
Shout out to Struggle Mike.
That
for
is
real.
pretty motherfucking
Especially having
fire.
an opening arms too.
Nah, for real.
That's
He's
dope.
like, there's, when you think back, you're like, who really helped me
Yeah,
along
who
the
helped me-
journey
who
the
helped me
most?
change? Who helped me level up?
Exactly.
Who helped me give me some real game, some real sauce without really expecting too much from it? That's true. Those are the people that stick out. Those people who add such value.
And
early.
made Buffalo my home. Like, you know what? It's funny because, like, when I met Khan in 2017, he told me, he's like, I didn't realize shit was popping till we went to Boston, and the show in Boston was so crazy that we're like, oh shit, people
Y'all know me.
really like. And that's how I went to Buffalo. When I went to Buffalo, people would have to take pictures with me on the street. Like, people would
Word.
like come up to me and say, and I was like, wait. People who I had never been to Buffalo before in my life, like
so you
It
had your
seems like
podcast?
you are from Buffalo though, because you really
Yeah,
did.
'cause
You
I
captured all of them. Like I told him.
I fuck with that music so much. Like, I fuck with the Buffalo scene. I fuck with what they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
I remember seeing the Reject 2 album cover. That's how I found them. 2015.
Word.
Conway with the bullet holes in the back of his head. And I was like, that's one of the hardest album covers I've ever seen. I gotta listen to this shit. Like, and it's, I remember the moment I heard Beloved, the first song I ever heard by Griselda. I remember hearing that. I was driving on Cape Cod, right by the in Orleans. I pulled over.
Get the fuck
I
out of
pulled
here.
over because I knew it was gonna change my life.
You're like, whoa.
Jesus
And it
Christ.
did.
You know what? The
Let's
motherfucker's serious as
go.
hell though.
I had an ex tell me I was overly obsessed with Griselda to a point where it would like ruin me.
Oh,
She said,
no.
direct quote, "You're too autistic about Griselda."
no.
I hope you got rid of her.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I
next
did.
for a reason, yeah. Next for a reason.
But it worked out. Like,
Right,
that
yeah, for
shit.
sure.
Shame on her.
So were
Take it back.
you weren't podcasting at that time?
Nah, I was a stand-up, and then when quarantine hit and I couldn't perform anymore, and I had just gotten out of that relationship, and so I like had
Obviously
nothing.
a toxic relationship.
Exactly. I was like,
on
I
her,
had like
yeah.
nothing really, and I was like, I'm gonna start talking to people about how they better themselves because I don't
Let's
know how
go.
to better myself. So I started talking about comedians about bettering themselves.
That's an interesting person to ask that
And
question.
then I had this dude, Freshman Woes, on, a producer. I followed him because I loved his music.
Uh-huh.
And then I realized I had more followers than him. So I was like, I don't have a guest this week. Let me DM him and see if he's coming on.
Just
And
see
he
if
was
he's
like,
about it.
yeah, of course.
Tight.
And that was crazy. And then I was like, oh, I can just DM people and maybe they'll talk to me. So I
Yeah.
DM Hologram, who you can see on Action Bronson's new album.
Okay.
It's Mayhem Loren's brother. And I'm the only
Ah.
interview he's ever done. And it was my second rap interview ever. And he announced his debut album with DJ Muggs on my
your pod.
podcast.
That's
And that was
sick.
the second rap podcast I ever really did.
Let's
And I got to
go.
announce a DJ Muggs album. So
Right.
then I was like,
Hell yeah. I'm doing
I
this
think the
shit.
universe showed me my, like,
But what possessed you to actually go and cop the mic and get the board and get the headset and really? 'cause
I
you
told
said
you, like, Joe Rogan was like a big influence to me at an early age. So I knew that I always wanted to do that with comedy. I wanted to be a comedian with a podcast.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
I knew with everything in life, if you're not 100% in it, you're out.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
You're out.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're out.
You can't
You
go the
can't.
distance.
I see people that have a passion but won't give up their life for it. You have
Talk
you can have
about
you have to give up your life for
Let's
your
go.
passion. You really
Absolutely,
do.
yeah.
And so I knew that when I started, I had to give up my life. And when quarantine hit, I had nothing. I was drinking. I was hanging out with the wrong people. And I was like, now's the time to give up my life to something positive.
Mm.
And I did.
Fire.
And it worked. Like, shit's different now. Like, I have something.
Noticeably different.
And my comedy's different. Like, I just sold out a show in Philly off fans of the podcast.
That's sick.
That's great. Like, that's stupid to
That's
me. I'm
sick.
an idiot. Like, you know what I
It's like-
mean?
it's like, don't follow me.
3 years
You know what?
ago-
I do want to say this because back to what you were saying initially is you're talking about how Joe Rogan is that. I think more and more as the podcast progresses, our podcast, because we have an identity, but not the identity yet. And I think more and more as the podcast progresses, one of the things about me is I was always a cool kid. You know what I mean? And that's not to be like fucking, not trying to be cool about it. I was always like one of the cool kids. You know
If
what I mean?
we
I
went
was-
to high school together, he would have bullied me. That's what he.
You know what? I bullied the bullies. In the beginning, in freshman year, I was a bully. In sophomore year, which
He
is
would
long
have
as I was,
kicked the
as long
shit
as I
out of
was-
me and put it in a locker. Put
maybe.
me in a locker if we went to high school.
And then I had a real cool talk with my assistant principal in Kenmore West, right? And because I went there for like, I don't know, maybe a couple months. But the assistant principal was super cool. And he was like, stop being a bully. You like everybody in the school loves you and respects you. Why don't you do it the opposite way? When you get in trouble, literally what he told me. I don't know if I get him in trouble for this, but he was like, when you get in trouble, I'll get you out of detention because you're always in school suspension. And I need you to break up fights. So I ended up because of that, I turned out to be a bully of bullies. You know what I mean? Because I started not liking it. I started looking at it like, first off, this gets me out of fucking, because I'm definitely not showing up for this class.
Good.
I'm gonna get suspended.
You're like, I get to beat up 2 people instead of
It
one.
wasn't even about beating up. I used to just really be
Get a
like,
pass.
I used to be like, yo, why you fucking with that kid, bitch?
Yeah.
Chill the fuck out.
But you probably had to deal with a lot of your own shit to get to that mentality.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Because when you're bullying because you feel small.
Real shit.
So, like, to then get past that mentality.
Because
you
I
have
was
to-
small. You know what I mean? Like, I actually was a small ass motherfucker. I
I
always worked
wasn't
out, and I
pretending.
worked out because I was such a small dude. I had no choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was a shorter dude. I'm still a shorter dude. You know what I
I'm
mean?
big. No one really fucked with me because I'm big. Like, I was lucky with that.
You were
Like,
tall
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
even my dad's only 5'10". I'm 6'4". Like,
So he's not your real dad.
it's
It's okay. The milkman was a good guy.
tall and no one in my family has curly hair either.
So what I was saying is like, look, I was as I was coming up around 16, 17, I would go to Barnes and Noble, and I was always in the self-improvement books.
Mm.
And I would dive so deep into these fucking books, like super fucking deep into these books. And it was always more like, how could I continuously improve myself? And yeah, I used to sell drugs and get into a lot of trouble, but my brain was there. I don't think I caught up to the shit that I was reading just yet. It was hitting my subconscious mind, but it wasn't all the way there. And as I've been growing through life, I've been on that more and more and more, and it hits me more and more. And I'm reading more and more of those books again, getting back into it.
Good.
And it's just always been who I am. And I believe in that shit so much that like you're saying about Joe Rogan. And I feel like that's what I like having on this podcast. I was telling you earlier, I said, people see Benny the Butcher up on here, or Benzino up on here, David Corey when we had him up here.
Yep,
And they're like,
yep.
where do you go from there? I don't want the superstars. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind interviewing the superstars, but that's not like, I want to talk to people because the Danza Project is a network. And I say this shit all the time because it's that important. I believe that the people that I have up on here, that I found something in them that interested me. You know what I mean? There's not going to be always. There's going to be some times where I'll do an interview and I'll be like, fuck, why did we interview this guy? You know what I mean? It'll happen. But then there's the interviews there's going to be the interviews that it takes some time to manifest and get it to work. That it's like, okay, I really wanted this to happen, and here goes why, and you see people and you watch them grow through their journey. That to me, that's motivating.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could be of any help along the way in their journey, or if I could say, here, yo, by the way, let me tie you into this guy, you guys could work together. I feel like that is the dopest shit. I feel like when I talk and we have a conversation, and as we'll have the conversation today, the people that are listening to us, I always want them to understand that one thing.
Yeah.
Like, yo, struggle, it's funny because it's Struggle Mike, but like struggle is a real thing. And everyone goes through it. There's a lot of people that would go with, and it's okay, that's like that victim mentality. It's like, oh, but you don't understand my struggle. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not here to really understand your struggle. I just want you to understand that
I'm here to deal with my own.
You don't understand mine. You don't understand his. You don't understand hers. Everybody has a struggle. It might seem like they were spoon-fed, but there was some struggle that is in their life. And I feel like I always want the people to know that watch us is like, yo, no matter what it is, you could actually overcome it. You really can. No matter what the fuck is in your way, unless you're like a certain couple things, like a rapist, pedophile, you know what I mean?
No coming back.
And there's certain shit that's like, all right, you know what? This guy could beat it. You know, you flick him
Yeah.
off, beat him like I fucking killed that moth. But that type of shit, yeah, we could get rid of those people. Whatever they got to do to themselves or somebody else has to do to them. I don't care.
No, but it's true.
But that type of shit. And so I want to hear about your upbringing, because you said like you could have been bullied and nobody bullied you because you were a bigger kid, right?
Yeah.
So like what would you say, if you don't mind touching on it, what would you say was your struggle coming up?
Shit, hostile household. Like because my mom's a teacher, I got to go for full tuition to private school my whole life, and I didn't
Right.
fit in with anybody because I was there on full. Like for high school, for my 4 years of high school, it cost $300,000, and they gave it to me for free. So like in eighth
Sick.
grade, they gave me $300,000 to go to high school.
Sick.
Jesus.
Like, and I didn't fit in with anybody. But
See, there
my
goes that
household,
thing, right? Spoon fed. A lot of people would think, yeah.
and they don't like, just hostile. Like my parents fucking hated each other, like bad. Like, and my mom would want to like hurt.
Did your dad
my
hate your
dad.
mom because he wasn't your dad?
No, it was my dad. I look just like my dad. Other than the height, I look just like him. No, it's funny because it's like everybody's shit is different, but like I don't know, like it was just like in 8th grade, my mom, like what's the thing? Like my mom had me tell my dad that they were getting a divorce and that she
What
knew it
the
was
fuck?
cheating
You
and
were right
shit.
in the middle. Yeah.
Like literally, no, she had me call him and was like, "Yo, you guys are getting a divorce. She knows you're cheating." And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like hostile shit. Like I was
Listen,
used
I
as a
know.
pawn and shit.
Only child?
Only child.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. Which isn't that bad, but that's like one of the
They were young?
examples. One of the examples, yeah,
Okay.
of like the many things done.
Yeah.
Like just hostile household.
But see, people see young white kid, single kid, private school. He's fine. He's good. He's great. What's hard? What's so hard or difficult? What do you have to overcome? Right.
Yeah.
But there's struggles within that as well.
And also
You
then
know?
just personal struggles, because you deal what I was asking about the bullying, then because like getting over, like the farther you push away the shit you don't want to deal with, the farther in a hole you get. And then the farther in the hole you get, the more you don't give a fuck about the things you do or the people around you. So then you start like hurting the people around you because you're hurt yourself.
Hurt people.
Exactly. Like, and that's what I had to realize is like what I went through sucked. But am I gonna let it hold me back? Like, am I gonna be a
Define you.
victim? Like, that's why I don't even like telling
There you
people.
go.
Like, that's why I don't even like talking about a lot of whatever, because it comes across as like victim mentality, where it's like,
woe is me.
yeah, because I know people who went through horrible shit, way worse than I did, way worse, and they handle that shit better than I do. So like, what the fuck am like?
What do I got to cry about?
Exactly. Like, I just have to handle my shit and move forward. You know.
Right.
I'll put it this way. And you've went through some shit, and like deep shit. And some people like sharing it, some people don't. And that's not a fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just how people handle their own personal lives. Me, right? So like I have a newborn now. And prior to that, I lost 2 straight. Fucking 34 and 35. So I'm like at the age at those times, I'm like, fuck, man, this ain't happening for me.
What's going on? Yeah.
And the one thing I knew was, okay, like I went to go talk to my employees and shit like the next day. And I was like, yo, listen, this happened. And just to let you know, like, you still have to move forward. I use that as a way to speak to people and say, no matter what happens in your life, you can't press rewind.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing I could do. Yeah, it hurts. It kills me to not have that opportunity. It was like last year, June. Because we lost a baby, and then the next year we got pregnant again. Right, this is last year, and they're like, you know you're safe when you hear the baby's heartbeat, right? That's you get all sorts of opinions early on in pregnancies. So I'm like, man, hopefully we get to the heartbeat this time. And then we heard the heartbeat. And I was like, whew. Like, thank God.
Yeah.
2 days later, we lost it. Right. And so I'm like, I thought when you hear the heartbeat,
Thought we were good.
you know what I mean? Now, Father's Day was that Sunday. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, or it was the next Sunday. And I'm like, man, like, fuck. And it was kind of like, it was draining.
Right.
My dog of 15 years on that Father's Day, I had to put him down. Right. That's why I have him right here. And still, it's like everybody's looking at me like, man, this dude's going to fucking crumble. Because that was it. Pictured right there. You see that fucking dope ass picture I had painted for me?
Beautifully.
Everywhere. He's everywhere in the house, literally. Everywhere. He's fucking here right now. All right. Just so you guys know. But I refuse to let those things cripple me because I do have that understanding no matter what, that I cannot press rewind. I can't.
When something happens and it doesn't, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, but like there's literally only two ways you can handle it. You either let it drag you or you drag it. Like you either let it bury you or you use it as fuel.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because you can't, and don't get me wrong. I don't blame anybody for letting it drag them. How could I blame them?
Yeah.
Everybody handles their shit differently.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Absolutely.
Are you spiritual, religious at all?
No.
No.
It's not like I'm not, like I believe in a higher power,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't say I'm religious because I will never be like somebody that dives fully into it.
All right, like
oh my
spiritual.
God.
Are you spiritual at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I always wonder about something like that. If you lose a child, two of them, like, does that waver your faith? Because I'm spiritual, I believe but like, I'm also worried that like, when certain shit happens, is that gonna wave my feeling towards it?
I read a book, probably when I was like 18, 19 years old.
Man.
It was called God is Closer Than You Think.
Okay.
And the book was about, think about God is right there. Right? God is in the corner of the room right now. So when you're making a decision, God is there. He's looking at you. What does he think about it? Right? And it gets way in depth. That book gets really into it. So what do I know? When I wake up every single morning, even when I'm sleeping, God is here in my mind. That's the Almighty. So I can tell myself, talk to myself, because it's who I got to talk to God, right? You could speak out loud, but you're talking to yourself. I've never met the person that spoke to God, that God was actually physically in front of him. Haven't met him. I don't know if you guys have. Haven't. You know what I mean? It's not there. We have the ability to sit there and talk and pray and through faith. And I believe that that's the secret, right? That's the law of attraction. I'm saying I'm going to be okay. And I have to get up and I have to keep moving. And I can now use this story of the things that have happened to me to tell everybody, yo, I know you're going through shit. And I also go through shit. I am human. It might look like everybody looks at me and they're like, boom. Even you, when you said like, how do you do it? Having a newborn and having a business. And I got no choice. If I stopped right now, then I didn't get to where I wanted to be. And I'm going to be somebody that is going to be a shell of myself. I'm going to be somebody that more than likely I'll hurt the people around me because I'm not happy with myself. I got certain things I want to accomplish. And in that process, even I'll be hurting people along the way because maybe somebody won't get the attention they wanted or whatever the case is. But I just know that as human beings, we really don't have an option but to move forward. Sometimes we have to walk away from shit that we once considered like, this is my path. And you have to break free from that to really welcome your real path.
Yeah.
And it's painful. But that's just the way the world is. Nobody knew that we were going to be fucking face to face with coronavirus and the world was going to shut down. And you had to switch from a world of I'm doing stand up. Like, yo, that shit has to be super fucking tough. You're doing stand up next day. Oh, well, you can't do stand up. Sorry. figure out another way.
But you have to adapt.
Absolutely.
And that's what
you also
I
have
think.
to adapt to pain.
I think that's what changed about the world, or what Corona. The good thing about Corona is it showed the difference between like the boys and the men, or whatever the saying is you want to put in there. It's like, can you adapt, or are you going to shut the fuck down? Because we all know people who shut the fuck down, and we all knew people who made shit happen and became something over quarantine. Shit, look at Griselda. Look at anybody now who's popular, and they adapted to something that no one had ever dealt with.
Right.
And that's the whole point of it. Can you adapt to it? So, like, can you take that situation and make the best of it? But sometimes it's tough. Like, did you have that mentality right after, or did you have to get there?
What, when Corona happened?
No, like when you lost.
I was there. And again, those self-improvement books. So what I was saying is, don't get me wrong, I've been reading the books all along, right? So I got an Audible membership, and I'm buying I run out of the credits I get a credit a month.
You mind grabbing me one of those? Oh, thank you.
I run out of them, I have to get more. And yeah, he knows that Griselda was making noise before but they really
100%,
absolutely exploded at that time.
But they used that and adapted
absolutely
better than anybody.
And you know what it is? I think the rest of the world was able to come to grips with it because we finally touched in a moment where the world had to be real again. It wasn't all fucking like a lollipop. You know what I mean? We had to turn the world.
Don't shit on my boy Lil Wayne.
I'm just saying, it's not like a lollipop anymore. It's like real life.
Yeah. What I noticed about quarantine, it was a reset for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who had these things that they had been waiting to do for a very long time, and that was our opportunity to get to it. And if you didn't get to it, you realize the only person you're bullshitting was yourself. And so, like, I made this post early quarantine days. I was like, now is the time that one outlet that doesn't have the square around it, it's just a raw outlet with 2 screws, top, bottom. Now's the time that you get that fixed. When's the last time you moved the couch and fucking swept behind the couch? When's the last time you lifted a little plate in the microwave and swept under that? Like, now's the time to do the shit.
When's the last time you had a real fucking conversation? I think that got forced on everybody's life.
Nah. Depends on the life you lead.
Well, because I
feel like us three are having real conversations all the time.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, what's the saying that they said? Especially in New York, Cuomo talked about it. Was what is that? When you're locked in a place with somebody, they call it some
what?
Stockholm Syndrome.
No, when they
I was thinking, but I don't think that.
When they saying like you could end up hateful against the person in your house because you're like locked in
stacked on top of each other.
Cabin fever.
Cabin something, right? Is it
cabin fever? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So people were forced to like, do I like you or do I hate you? Right. Because I can't even leave the fucking house. You can't leave the fucking house.
All the things we've been leaving for.
You know what I mean? So like, real conversation had to fucking happen. Period. Right. Some people turned to drugs, got worse into it. Some people took that as an opportunity to get themselves clean from it. You know what I mean? Because it's the world as we knew it was gone.
Yeah, because there were fucking people who would be like, it's a 2-week lockdown. I'm going to eat all the unhealthy food I can. I'm going to watch everything on Netflix. I'm not going to leave the house. That turns to 2 years, and those people's mentalities didn't shift.
This dude, Ness, I don't know if you know who Ness is.
Nah.
Okay, well, you need to know who Ness is. Ness is I would say Ness is a very fucking, like, people might not know him, but he is very... He's from New York, I believe. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. I know what part, because he always used to say it, but he is an important piece to hip hop in Buffalo, New York. He really is.
Right.
He was super close to Conway, super close. I don't know what their relationship is like at this time, but he knows about all this shit, and he says, "Not me. I got closer to Claire." That's what he did during his quarantine
strikes.
You know what I mean? But
how much money for you to fuck Claire?
Oh, Ness will do it for free. Ness probably got a couple tracks about Claire. Am I right? Ness definitely has some tracks about Claire.
Shout out to Ness.
Well, we were talking about such good shit. I forgot.
Yeah,
what
we
it-
are talking about good shit. What a way to start. By the way, fucking ladies and gentlemen, you got my man Sam Buck in the building. All right, Bucked Up Podcast.
In the fucking
I see him doing so many motherfucking podcasts. Like usually he beats us to it. He gets all the fucking ill fucking podcasts. But I respect it. I respect this dude's hustle. So for a while I was trying to get him on here, but again, it's been tough to fucking make it happen. And that's what happens when people are on the fucking move. Because one thing for sure is we didn't stop. You know what I mean? Like everybody else had an opportunity to stop, and we didn't stop. So fucking appreciate you for coming through, by the way.
No, I appreciate
We didn't
you
really get to
having
do a
me.
real intro.
It doesn't matter. I
So
like
who
the
the fuck is Sam Buck?
who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, no, who the fuck is this? So
I'm
for
a
them to know.
comedian and podcaster. That's all you need to know. I'm
Comedian.
so fucking like I don't know. I'm so bad at
Did
selling
struggle
myself.
get you into comedy? Because I
No,
know
I've been
by
doing
speaking
comedy.
with people that told me about their struggle.
Oh,
led
I thought you
them
meant
to-
struggle, Mike. You mean
No, no, no.
struggle?
So like I know speaking with
The real
people
struggle.
day to day that their problems led them to just kind of like laugh it off a lot and became kind of funny in most situations just to kind of escape that.
100%. And it's also it's like I had so much like crazy shit go on when I was a kid, and I was going to these proper schools that my family would be like, "You better not. If you tell anyone what's going on at the house, like." You're fucked. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Get your
So
ass
then
beat.
I'd be like, I just wouldn't talk to people. I'd be closed off and quiet. Like, and so I think
Wow.
also comedy is like, I can just go up there and say whatever the fuck I want and people are going to listen to me. And like, I liked being funny. I like getting the laughs like that. But I just like, it's freeing. It's freeing. Like, I love it. Like, it's like my journal. Like, it's like, and it's I don't know.
It's a
I'm
funny
super.
journal.
Yeah.
How much honesty is in your comedy?
100%. I hate when people lie on stage. I hate when people make up stories. Everything I say is true, and I love that for like I don't know how
That's
to
what it
describe.
should be.
Like I fucking God told me I was a comedian. I don't know how else like to describe it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I was
Like
gonna ask you, where do you usually draw your material? Where do you draw from to put that together? How's that creative process look like?
I used to sit down and write, and I should probably do that, but I just like stuff comes to me. It's you know who Mariella Angela is, the artist? She did the Tana Talk 3 and 4 covers.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, she's done a lot of shit. She did like a lot of shit for West. She did the Hoffa
She just does a bunch of. She
Davies.
does the paintings. Like
Yeah,
the fire
exactly.
ones, yeah.
And I was talking to her when I interviewed her. She was like, "The crazy thing is I don't know how to paint. I just like do it."
Just go.
And that's how I feel. Like when you're talking about like earlier, you were saying that your mind just works for certain things like business, making money, shit like that. Like I don't even know how I am where I am. I don't know how I do what I do. Like I just kind of do it, and it's weird to me. That's why it's weird to me when people come up to and say they like it, because it's like
You like that?
I feel like
It's
I'm
just
on a path that I'm not even in control of.
fire. So
so. This is something. Go ahead.
I was gonna say. So with that being said, do you believe in a higher power? Are you spiritual and/or
Yeah,
religious?
this is so. I always believed in omens, the alchemist. Like shit comes, the universe shows you things. Like the universe showed me things my whole life that have pointed to where I am today. And even like last week, I had shit that on my 10th birthday affected positively.
Finally made sense.
Crazy shit. Like
Yeah.
there's this you know who Jim Gaffigan is?
Yes.
The comedian Jim Gaffigan.
Oh yeah.
He's like a pretty famous comedian.
Yeah.
And my parents took me to see him on my 10th birthday.
Wow. Where was that at?
On Cape Cod.
How'd they finesse that one?
Crazy. And he wrote "To Sam, My Best Friend" on a CD and
that's
signed
sick.
it to me. Like
That's sick.
crazy.
On a
Early.
CD.
So like
fucking
fast forward to
CDs.
when I'm 16, 17, and I get in a really bad hockey accident and I have to lay in a dark room for a month. I had to take medical leave from school. I couldn't listen to music. I couldn't go outside. All I could do was listen to people talk. All I did was listen to
Wow.
stand up and podcasts.
Fire.
Like
Not
crazy,
fire, but fire.
crazy shit. So that's how I found Joe. That's the shit. And then that then fast forwards to when I'm in college, a freshman in college, one of the main podcasts I listened to was Todd Glass. And so I
Okay.
saw Todd Glass was coming to open for Jim Gaffigan in Boston. And I was like,
Wow.
I'm just going to send him an email. Tickets are $150. I'm a college student. I can't afford that. I'm just going to email him and see if he's doing any other shows. So I send him an email and he goes, you know what? Show up to the show.
Got you.
And I thought he was just going to get me a seat in the back, whatever. And he has me sitting on the stage
Fuck yeah.
and
Oh,
hangs
shit.
with me. This is
Fuck
like one of my
yeah.
favorite comedians. Jim Gaffigan, the connection right there.
Yeah.
Fast forward to last month while I'm in LA, he invites me to sit in on his podcast
Sick.
at his home. Like he's invited, and now he's coming on my podcast. And it's like that shit all pays
Yeah,
off for
that's
my
fucking
10th
fire.
birthday. Like
Wow.
I definitely am spiritual, but that's why I got really like upset when I hear that shit. Is like, does that waver when shit bad happens? Does it waver? Because like I am spiritual, and you were talking about like you've never met someone who like had God sit down in front of them.
Yeah, because they didn't. What a way to come back, by the way. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
When I was at the beginning of quarantine, that same girl that told me about Griselda, she did some good shit. She broke up with
Okay.
me February 29th. It was a leap year. Shutdown was March 13th.
Yeah.
She broke up with me. She goes,
Shit.
you drink too much, the people you hang out with suck, and you haven't dealt with your trauma.
Oh wow.
Those 3 things she
Hey,
told me.
Sometimes that's the
And
necessary
I was like,
evil.
fuck you, whatever. And then I did DMT.
Yeah.
Hello.
I did DMT.
Where's Landon?
This is
at?
where I've been waiting to get to.
And this is where God sat down in front of me. When I did
Mm.
DMT, Buddha sat in front of me like I am to you. And I know I sound like a crazy person.
Not
No,
at
and
all.
you
you
don't.
can.
Not at all.
no, you
Buddha sat down in front of me and said, you know what you need to do in life. And if you don't do it now, then it's never going to happen.
don't. Shout out DMT. I knew Landon was
Come
coming.
on.
I knew Landon was coming
And
ever since we had
I
a conversation earlier.
Did after that DMT trip, and if you're not spiritual at all, I say it's like a near-death experience. If you don't want to
Right.
believe, just imagine it's like a near-death
If you don't want to
experience.
believe, hang out with Sam and he'll
Then,
give you
but
some, and
Buddha
then it
told
would be
me,
like
and
fucking-
my podcast is successful now. I never had anything go right for me like that. Like, and that was from
Shout
a
out to
fucking
DMT.
Buddha
Let's take a
telling
shot
me
to
to in a DMT trip, and me having to. In that moment, he made me realize that I had to deal with those 3 things.
I see.
And that's why, like, I do believe in God because he changed my life in that moment.
Salute. Shout out
Right.
to DMT. Now let me explain something
Salute.
about DMT. Because a lot of people, I did it. You see that? I touched the fucking table, God damn it. I don't know why I touched the table, but I touched it. Landon, could I get some airtime?
I got a question for you when you're done.
I love that Landon's over here clicking buttons. Landon's on DMT
Sick.
right now, god damn it.
Yeah,
All
Landon's
right.
doing this via
Nah,
Wi-Fi
so-
for y'all
so-
tuning
so
in. by
check
the
it
way.
out.
He's not in the room.
People that have done DMT, people that do micro shrooms,
Mm-hmm.
they very much encourage others to do it.
I wouldn't encourage anyone to do
Yeah.
this shit.
Okay. I
Near
like
death
that. I like the
experience
honesty.
is
It changed my
Which is a good thing, though.
it changed my whole mentality. Like, I believe I met God. Do you know how crazy I sound?
No,
Like, you know
but,
what I
but
mean?
here goes what I was saying.
Like,
I don't know anybody that physically had them in front of him. But in that moment, in that space that you were in, he was there, but he actually wasn't physically in front of
no,
you.
no.
If I
'cause
was
when
in the
you-
room with you and you were tripping, I'd be like, this motherfucker is tripping.
So what
He's talking,
happens?
you know what I mean? Like,
do you know about it? So it's the
DMT,
thing
yeah.
that your brain, that your third eye produces
Already
when you're
produces.
born and when you die.
yeah.
That's the thing. So when you do it, you leave your body. My friend was with me, didn't do it. He said it looks like a TV turning off. You're just, and you shoot up. You go to that place where
Yeah.
you go to that place you are when you're born and when you die.
I believe you have an
Threshold.
amazing dream.
It's
Or
a
what-
dream.
okay,
It's a
yeah.
dream. And that's why I know that I sound crazy. And the
But
more I
it's-
think
but
about
it's
it,
not.
right. But the more I think about it, it's a hallucination.
Right.
And it's how I reacted to it about changing my ways, changing my life, is how people who went through near-death experiences act.
Let me announce this
Interesting.
now. All right, here goes how we're gonna do this because we've.
He has DMT right now. He's we're doing it on the podcast.
I'm sorry to cut this off at this moment. We're gonna get right back to it, but we're gonna make this one announcement. I like the hip hop this guy knows. He's
Okay.
really good at knowing
Yeah,
hip hop.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna play you a few songs today, and you are gonna pick a song that is gonna be the theme song to our podcast.
Oh shit, that's
Oh,
an
shit.
honor.
yeah. You're picking the theme song to our podcast.
Should we
That's
tell
crazy.
them to tune in? Do they know they?
I put it on the fucking on the
I saw
the
that.
IG feed, so
Oh,
Because you've had that competition going.
yeah, it's just that I had a
like-
baby, so it kind of fucked things up a little bit. But let me say this. Everybody's brain works differently. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. I believe that there is no telling that if you're looking at the wall right now, if everybody told you that this is white, but what you see is actually yellow, you're always going to think it's white because your whole life you've been told this is white. You might see yellow, I might see white. You get what I'm saying? Are you following me?
Mhm.
Our brains work differently. Everybody's brain works differently.
Mhm.
So people tell me, if you did this or if you did that, you would be able to see this. I believe I've always saw that way.
We were talking about this before.
Exactly.
I felt like I was lost, even when that chick said that shit to me. And those are the 3 things I needed to change. I was like, fuck that. I'm going to go drink more. I'm going to go hang out with those people more. I had to have something like a near-death experience. Whatever. I had to have
Some people
something
do.
to like be like, nah, if you don't do it now, then it'll never happen.
I'm clear in certain ways. I'm unclear in others.
Okay.
Mm.
Right? And if you ever heard about Dianetics or Ron L. Hubbard,
Yeah,
you ever hear
of
about
course,
him?
of course.
He talked about the clear, getting to the clear. I read that book. I fucking ripped it up and threw it out. The shit fucked me up.
Isn't that the dude who created Scientology?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking nuts. So I
Are you a
believe-
Scientologist?
No. So I do believe I'm
Not
clear.
yet.
I do believe I'm clear in certain areas. I could say that, like, I know people. I could really see them. And I know to most people, I sound crazy as if I took DMT. I
Mhm.
could look at somebody and I could fucking talk to them for 10 minutes and I could imitate them. I could tell how they're gonna behave about certain things. I can't tell you how many of like I read Dianetics, by the way, Landon, for a little bit, and like a few chapters, and I was like, this is a crazy fucking book. But there was certain things that was inside of that book that tells you like the way a person's talking and to
Okay.
identify with them really quickly and to know the next thing they were going to say or the next thought they were having, right? And it's literally was happening all the time. Like there was no excitement about meeting people while I was reading that book because it's like I already know what this motherfucker's going to say. And it really was happening. So like I got a little bit into it and I fucking ripped up the book and I'm like, this is the fucking worst book ever. It's a fucking mind fuck. You know what I mean? But it also led me deeper into other self-improvement and understanding people and how they operate. But I feel like I know people. I really do. I feel like if I sit in a room and talk to somebody and they really explain to me what they're going through, I'm pretty fucking good at telling them how to get out of that hole they're in. And I could explain it to them in a way that they understand, and I could explain it to the next person in a way that they understand. I know how to separate it to say like this person's not going to hear me if I say this, but this person will. And so when I'm talking to a room of like 10, 15 people, right? I know that I might have to talk for an hour and a half because not everybody's going to catch me, but I'm going to look directly into them and I know when they lock in. I know when I got them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's my weird trait, my weird characteristic, right? Is knowing people. I feel like, I don't know, maybe somebody slipped me DMT earlier in my life and that's where I got stuck in that thought process in that time. But I'm clear about that. I'm clear about my path. A lot of people look at me. Landon is one of them. Me and Landon will have a lot of conversations and Landon's told me like, bro, like, you motivate me and I appreciate you because of certain things, the conversations that we've had. And I've heard that. I've heard that a lot of times from people. And it never does it get less motivational to me to know that I could do that for somebody.
It motivate,
propel them forward. Say like,
that's
I
so.
look. Go ahead.
No, it's just no. What were you saying? What were you saying?
It's motivational for me because for whatever reason, I genuinely give a fuck about people. And a lot of people look at me and be like, "Oh, this dude's an asshole." Da, 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 da. But I genuinely give a fuck about people. I'm the type of person that if somebody fucks up with me, I usually give them another chance.
Mm.
I don't really care. Most of my good friends I fought with before. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it
The
is what
four
it is.
agreements. You don't number 3, you don't take anything personally. Like that's a real thing I had to think about is like when people react a certain way, it's because of what they're going through and the shit they dealt with. Like you can't take it like I'm big on second chances.
Yeah. You know why I
Absolutely.
like the people I fight? Because they stand on their shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like people that like fold easily. So like I want to have a conversation with somebody and they stand so hard on their shit that we end up getting in a fight about it. They stand on their belief before the
You come
fight,
to a
after the fight,
resolution.
they are the and I'm like, I like this guy. You know what I mean? Like if we understand that you're gonna be honest with me and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if we have to throw punches with each other, it's just gonna happen.
So let me ask you guys, one being of religious or spiritual belief, one not, right?
Are you in religious?
I'm not. I'm spiritual, as
Spiritual,
fuck,
me
but
as
I'm
well.
not
I think
religious.
we're in the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
You said you're spiritual, not religious?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you let that affect your decision making when it comes to life decisions? When it comes to the way you navigate this life, do you do it based off of what's being signaled from the higher power, your higher power?
Okay.
Or where does your main decision making come from? Within?
If you're religious and if you're not if you're spiritual and if you're not spiritual, it all comes down to the same thing. You are God. God's in you.
If you're not.
Even if you're not, you are the decision maker.
Say that again.
So like no matter what, if you're let me explain. At the end of the day, you are the person in charge of your choices, even if you're
Absolutely.
spiritual or not. Like I'm spiritual and I believe that like my belief pushes me towards the decisions I'm supposed to make.
Absolutely.
But even if I wasn't spiritual, if you just take that away, you go, I am in charge of the decisions I am supposed to make.
So, but being under the assumption that you're in control of the decisions that you make would means you're in control of your future, your path, your destiny. So is it already predetermined? Has it already been written? Or is it solely within your decision making?
I don't know why the fuck I like rap music. I think that's funny. Like when you asked me, like you really, I was like, yeah, 4 years old, I knew every word to "The Predator" by Ice Cube. My dad played me everything, every type of music I listened to, but rap was the one I was connected to. And now you look at like what I do now, and I didn't pick that. So that's like
So
the
is that
destiny.
a higher being choosing your destiny, or did you choose music over the course of?
I think it was a higher path. I think omens show you the path, and some you listen to, and some you don't.
I believe we have I believe that when we come up through the world, shout out Ness, I appreciate that. I believe that when we're coming up in the world, we develop tastes. I mean, the first time I fucking sipped a beer, it was disgusting. You know, I spit it out. I took it out of my dad was a drinker, heavy drinker. I took a sip. Like I thought it was cool as fuck at first. I got a beer. Fucking gross. But then I ended up liking beer. I don't like it anymore. I like liquor. It's fucking amazing. So I believe everything is an acquired taste, right? Certain things that are happening in our lives that is acquired taste. I believe that we are, and you one of the worst. I'm scattering my thoughts here for a reason. By the way, I'm not in Wonderland. I ain't high at all. I'm fucking sober as a bitch, except for this Douce. One of the worst things that people could say to me is, "I'm exactly where God wants me to be."
Why? Why is that?
Because you're exactly where you wanted you to be.
Okay.
Because again, God didn't put you here. God didn't put you here. Don't get me. God put us on this earth. But now we have every day, we have a right to make decisions, right? We're driving in our car.
Mhm.
You decide to go slam in the car. There's a lot of people fucking make bad decisions or good decisions. You decide, I'm going to drive like this. I'm going to fucking crash a car. If your dumb ass says, when you have a broken neck and you're in the hospital, God put me here. Shut the fuck up. No, he didn't. You put you there. You decided to fucking drive like that. And I'm a crazy ass driver. If I ever got into that fucking situation, guess who put themselves there? I did. Right? I did.
So you
because
don't,
I
you don't
decided
think anything happens for a reason?
I believe things do happen for a reason, but I won't go as far as like thinking that the reason I am in the place I'm in is because of God. I think we have we make our fucking decisions, right? God might choose us to keep us alive.
Also, everyone has a different definition of God,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's a real
Exactly, a
thing.
higher power.
So, like, what
Yeah,
I like to think about and is like, there's two voices in everyone's head:
Okay.
the one that gives you good decisions,
Yeah.
and the one that gives you bad decisions.
Okay.
And the more you listen to the good voice, the closer you are to God.
How do you
and
know?
the-
Absolutely. I could say
You
How
do
do you
know,
know?
you do
You're
know,
God.
you do
Your
know the
version
right
of God.
decisions to make. You really do, because when you fuck up, that's where anxiety comes in. You know when you're doing the wrong
I do agree
thing.
with that. I like
You
the way
know,
you put that.
you know, like someone asked me, what's the best piece of advice I've ever gotten? And it came to me in that DMT trip. It's you know exactly what you're supposed to do. And if you say you don't, you're a fucking idiot.
Exactly. I
You
agree with
do know
It's
what
a
you're
good trick.
supposed to do, but how loud resistance is in your ears is how far away you are from God.
From God.
It really is because it depends on how you look at God.
Right.
Right? Like again, God is closer than you think. And so God is here. He's here. And so when I wake up every morning and I make decisions, it's like I know which ones, you know which ones are going to land you into some hot water, and you knows which ones are going to get you like in a little clear path. Now, most of the times, the clear path, her in the car, call William Attard. 444-4444. By the way, just because they said it. Clear path. You know, when you know, the clear path usually is boring.
Okay.
I was driving with you earlier. I was driving with you the other day, but you weren't in the car. I wasn't going the clear path. I know that path is dangerous.
Okay. But was that not the right path?
It was the wrong one.
Even though everything went as planned?
It was the wrong
not
one.
better?
Did it go as planned?
Yeah.
My brakes are fucked because of whatever I did.
You needed brakes.
I needed them,
that.
but not like that. You know what I mean? Now,
And Tony
listen,
made the flight.
my brakes on that car. You know how much the motherfuckers cost?
The brakes on that, I can't even imagine.
Just give me a number.
How much are the brakes on that?
Give me
shit?
the number. You got to give me the number. Fucking comedian. Be funny.
I mean,
Be serious.
Be funny.
how be fun? What's the funniest number you can think of?
But what do you say?
$43,000.
There you go. No.
No, what, like it's 3 for the front, 3 for the back? Like,
It's $9,500 for those fucking brakes.
God
Yeah, so like miserable fucking time. So it didn't go right because I didn't need it to happen right
You
there.
needed those regardless.
Yeah, but not now. You know what I mean? I definitely did some shit before. When you guys took off, I was mad. I was like,
The,
"God damn
the
it, they got
reason
in front of
why
me."
the
They
reason
got
why
in
I'm
front of
saying
me,
that,
right?
The reason why I'm saying that is because the path isn't always so clear. Like, yes, I know what I should do.
I could have killed
I know what I
myself.
have to do, but that doesn't always
Could
mean
I have not killed myself if somebody made the wrong move?
absolutely.
Okay.
But it
That's
didn't, but
so
it
I
didn't
made the
happen.
wrong move.
Could have.
I made the interesting move and the fun move, but it was not the smart one. It was the
But
more.
it wasn't
It was the
necessarily
more
right or wrong.
It was the wrong one.
Yeah, but you see,
But everything went
no
well.
one's. It's not all black and white. It's not
Yeah,
all good. You
absolutely.
like to fucking. I like to test the limits. I like to do
Right.
crazy shit. Like,
So is that
if
not, is
you
that not
drive
God?
wild, that might be bad. Maybe you won't die if you get in an accident. But you are doing something that you find fun. You know how to drive. It's not like
Nah,
your first
real
time
shit.
driving.
And
That's the
trust me,
car you
I'm
know
an
how to
advocate
do.
for that as well.
Whatever. All right. Now, place your newborn child
Exactly.
and your girl in the car, and you're
Mhm.
driving
or
the
just
same
place them
way.
in the picture in general.
But if they're in the car and you're driving like that,
You're a
then
scumbag.
you're a
It's not the
scumbag.
right choice.
But like, you can drive. You can be
But
some.
also
like,
knowing that they're home
mm.
and still driving like that is not the smart decision. It is fun.
Mhm.
It is.
Right.
And I will do it tomorrow. But I'm just saying. No, I won't. I'm lying.
But you also have a new Mercedes. It's safe. It's a safe car.
It is a safe car. I like that.
It's
I
a
like
safe
that.
car.
I
It's
like
a
the way
real-
this guy
it's a-
speaks.
Okay.
Her in the car,
now
call
say,
William Attard.
Now
You know what I
say
mean?
you have your newborn baby, and you go right now, tomorrow.
Yeah.
You go and buy a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And you drive that motorcycle wild.
Right.
You are gonna like
Wrong choice.
That's the wrong. You bought it. Did
Listen,
you have this car before
it
the
is
kid?
also-
Did you drive that car before the kid?
Yeah.
So it's not like
It
you
is
started.
also the wrong choice for me to drive like that. I am not gonna sit there and not admit that it is.
Next
not
time I
smart
come to
for me do
Miami,
it.
you're gonna
It is-
have
it
a
is- it is-
minivan and a fanny pack.
No, I'm gonna have that car. I'm gonna have that car, but I'm not about to sit here and this is what I say. The DMT is in me because I'm clear about this shit. All right, period. I'm very clear about this. There is no mistaking it. The way I drove yesterday, we could sit here and be like, was it right? Was it wrong? It was wrong. There's no other way
Okay,
around
but
it.
that's the same thing as you worked out today.
No.
I had some
Let
pasta.
me finish this thought, goddammit. All right. It's not. It's not the same thing. And here goes why it's not the same thing. At the end of the day, I decided to take a high-risk situation for something I really didn't need to for. For what? What did I do it for? Because I needed to get to the airport? What was the win? Oh, I wanted to be 7 minutes early? What was the win? Now, if there was, we were looking at it and you're like, there was $1 million and that's what you raced for. Okay. Then it's
You had
like,
to get Tony to the airport.
But then it's like, oh my God, you made it happen. Right? But at the end of the day, is it smart for me to be doing that? Is it the right thing to do? Could you really say that it's the right thing to do and mean it?
No.
Exactly. And that is the difference. And so what I'm saying is that when you look at paths, usually the safe one, the one that you know is to the good, towards the higher power, most of those decisions are pretty boring.
Right.
And we're men. So we tend to take the fucking more difficult path.
My point was, you said, you know what the right path is and what the isn't.
And that's what I'm saying.
But
you
regardless if you know which is
By
the
way, I'm
right
tapping
path,
this bottle if anybody wants to fucking
regardless if you know
call
which
Uber,
is
Uber Duces. With me, I'll pay.
They put the Duce in the back seat and put a fucking
seatbelt
belt on
Let's
it.
fucking make it happen.
What I'm saying is, regardless if you made the right choice or not, you still made the wrong decision, knowing it was the wrong choice.
Yeah.
And that's what we do by nature. You were saying, we know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
And if you choose not to do what's right, you're that much further from God. That's not always the case. Sometimes we make the wrong decision. It's not necessarily a void of having
absolutely
God involved.
Absolutely. What you're saying is right there.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying
we take risks, and a lot of times there's reward on the other side.
Exactly.
And it
sometimes
doesn't always
there's
work
nothing affected.
Right.
And in my case,
in
my case,
we
I
like
guess-
to roll the dice.
Yeah.
That's why humans get so addicted to gambling. Everything you
Mhm.
do in your life is a gamble. And how good are you at gambling? How good are you at making the right
I hate
decision?
people that think they're great at gambling.
Are you? But see, I don't gamble, but I think I'm a good gambler at life. I think I make more right decisions than wrong decisions. I don't feel like I always was that way, but I feel like now it's like, all right, I'm gonna make the right decision. I also believe, like maybe God doesn't make any decisions for you, but I just need something that'll continue my determination and passion. I just need something to look into that'll make it so I don't stop. Because you see so many people who are just depressed and lazy.
Right.
And if they had something that they believed in, they wouldn't be so depressed and lazy.
Right.
And maybe I'm just one of those person that needs something to believe in, so I'm not depressed and lazy.
And fortunately for some people, that's what religion is. It's instructions. It's rules and guidelines. Take with what you will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is the information based off of what we've seen in the past, patterns. How you choose to navigate is completely up to you. But this is like rule. These are
so
laws.
I got locked in the church for a while.
Mm-hmm.
For a while after I separated from my ex that I was dating for like 5 or 6 years.
Oh, you mean like as an adult?
Yeah. I was 32, I think. And I was like, I need to find an answer. And then one day I fucking drove my ass to church. And in church, they were talking about infidelity, which is my battle at the time. I couldn't stay faithful. And so happens that I walk in the church and their fucking entire topic is about infidelity. Now,
he's talking to me.
Way to fuck me up. You know what I mean? Now I'm thinking like 10%. What do you need?
Yeah,
My guy. Hey, what do you need?
I got 20 this
Hey,
week.
10,000 fucking this week. Yesterday I made it fucking. You need 10%. Here you go.
Take your time.
You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there like, whew, they got me. And they're talking about some shit so deep, and they're like, you know what I mean? You gotta come face to face with it. You have to. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to come face to face with that. That is tough. Like, you want me to tell her?
In front of the church.
You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, I feel like the light's on me. Right? Like, I swear to God, I'm in this room. And when I tell you, it felt like people were looking at me.
Oof.
The pastor was looking towards me. There's somebody in this room right now, but he was here. And I'm like, other people are in this room, bro. You know what I mean? Like, my head, I'm like,
if anybody wants to speak
yeah,
up.
like I
it's
wasn't
like,
high,
oh,
but I
oh.
felt extremely high. I felt like I just had an edible.
Shit.
And I'm like, oh man, this dude's looking directly at me. Is she in here? Not me, baby. Wasn't me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I felt it. And I got locked into that. And I started like fully fucking diving into this is the way. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way. I forgot why I'm here. I'm in church right now. So somebody take me out of church. Why did we talk about this?
About
Are you high?
What do we say? What do we say? What do we say?
About having a moral compass, about having those guidelines, rules and guidelines.
Yeah,
rules
yeah,
and
yeah.
engagement.
So okay, yep, good, perfect. That's what I wanted to touch on. Thank you, by the way, because I was in church. I really was in there right now. I felt nervous right now. I was like, damn, he's looking at me again. The one thing I really truly realized about, because I dove into it so hard for a couple weeks. I got baptized, born again, you know, all that cool shit. And I really was killing it. Like, I did come home and I did tell my girl at the time that I was unfaithful plenty of times.
Wow.
And split up with her, changed my direction in life, met another girl. Terrible relationship, by the way, that one. But I went through a new path and I was trying to figure out, and I think I dove a little bit too far into it. Almost like God put me here. This is why I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got into it. And I speak from experience on a lot of the shit I talk about. But the one thing I was thinking was, you know what? Most of the morals are correct. A lot of conflicting stories, but most of the morals are correct. The things that there are in religion is saying do the right thing. For the most part, it's really just saying do the right thing. For the most part. And that is what those people hold on to. But
those people suck the most.
Yeah.
Like,
As I'm in it, yes.
Church suck the most.
Absolutely. So while I'm in it, I'm noticing like the people, the behavior, the people I'm now, because of the power of the universe, I'm kind of gravitated towards the people. Not all of them are bad. And I do believe in certain parts of religion. But it's like a lot of the people.
Well, what motherfucker wakes up early on a Sunday and is a good person?
This is why we have this is why he's a comedian. I didn't go
if you
to
don't
the early
sleep
ones.
in on a Sunday, then
I didn't wake up in the morning. I went to the later sessions. It was hard. I tried to get to a couple of the early ones. I did when I have to get baptized, but there was a lot of cold water in there and stuff. But anyways.
So one thing about it, I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
I was raised in a Catholic family, which is church on Wednesdays, church on Sundays. You might even get a church on Tuesday or Thursday. You might go to a CCD class and do like an extra training or, history lesson or whatever the case might be. So I grew up pretty religious. And then when I moved to Broward from Miami, after my parents split up, I moved to a Jewish neighborhood. And it was a complete culture shock. Didn't know anything about the culture. Didn't know anything about the Sabbath or Shabbat or any of the holidays, Passover, anything like that. Complete culture shock. So I was like, I'm interested. How do you guys see this? How do you guys see the story? And how do you guys read and interpret the Bible and things like that, having read the Bible? And I met a good friend of mine, still to this day, my boy Steve Grant, also a rapper, very intelligent dude. But he shared with me, he's like, one day he asked me, he's like, so let me ask you, you're Catholic, right? I said, yeah. He's like, why are you Catholic? I was like, well, he's like, because you were raised Catholic. I was like, well, yeah, I didn't really have a choice. He's like, exactly. So how do you know in your adult life that you want to continue to be Catholic if you don't explore and educate yourself on other religions and other belief systems and other ways of thinking? And I was like, that's a great point. So not to say he turned me into an atheist, but he had me questioning, well, why am I Catholic? Do I agree with being Catholic? Am I Christian? Am I Baptist? Do I want to be Jewish? Do I want to be Muslim? Mind you, I have Jewish, Muslim, Catholic, Christian, Baptist friends. And so it was just an awakening moment. I was like, do I align with these systems and these beliefs? What can I take from this? And then what can I take from Buddhism? And then what can I take from Judaism? What else can I take from all these different belief systems that really feel right with me? And I use that as my moral compass. But it took me a while to realize, okay, Catholic isn't the only way. Catholicism isn't the only.
Religion should be
the
like
only
the
view?
all-star team. It shouldn't just be like the
I like
Yankees.
that.
Like,
Right.
you should have the best of all the teams, not just
I like
like
that.
Well, so
I
that's
like
the thing.
that. Religion should be like the best of all. You know, I agree with that.
Well, that's the thing.
What do you
But how
use?
women shouldn't drive. That's
I agree. Again, I'll tell this story. I'll tell this story
It's the
live on
best
air.
of all
I'll tell this story
religion.
live on air really quickly. I went to Target. I got a new baby.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm going to fucking grab all this stuff and I'm going to grab a car seat for my girl. Because I got a cool ass car seat. Fucking 3-in-1
Got to.
shit. Fucking. And it fucking drops into a fucking
It has
stroller.
flames on the side.
You know what I mean? I brought this shit to the hospital and they were like, oh, we need a car seat. And I had a stroller and I clicked the button. And they were like, oh my God, it's a car seat. Wow. It's cool. How does it do that? You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah,
I'll show
you guys have babies all the time in here. And you ain't seen this
Seen this
motherfucking Dunda. You know what I mean? It's not a Donda, it's a Dunda.
Dunda.
You know what I mean? So they seen this shit and I was like, boom, badass. So I'm in Target. I got a badass fucking stroller in my car seat. Boom, stroller, car seat, 3-in-1.
Boom.
Whatever the fuck is the 3, I don't know. I just know the 2 of them. But anyway, so I have this shit in the car and I'm at Target and buying cool shit for the baby. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a fucking car seat for my girl.
Like, so she can ride in the back too?
No. all right. He's a comedian. I forget. So I get one because I'm like, you know,
He wasn't ready.
she needs to drive the baby places too. I kept walking. And I'm like, I don't really trust women driving. If anywhere she goes with the baby, I will be in the car.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
So instead of buying
So I
the
didn't buy a car seat.
so instead of buying the car seat for her, you bought a car for the baby. You're like,
Yeah, there you go.
he's
Yeah,
driving
Hot
her
Wheels.
around.
Yeah, there you go. Because he's a
Much
boy.
safer
He's,
than-
yeah, exactly. There you go.
Exactly.
Because he can drive.
I'm
better than
driving
she can.
us to babies, all
So
right.
that'll get me in trouble. By the way, so
She's just angry watching the live in
she's
the other
right
room
there
right
on the
now.
other side of the door, waiting to bust open.
She just fucking The Shining.
Yeah.
There's a fucking axe.
Get in the car, call William Mattar. You know what I mean? So you asked us, what is your belief?
Man, that's a multi-layer question. What do you mean?
Of course, it's multi-layered. You're talking about religion, God.
Like, am I religious versed?
I'll put it this way. Let me ask this question to you. Answer it, and I'll figure it out.
Okay.
This is why I say I'm good with people. Boom. Do you believe that Jesus died and came back to life?
No. Came back to life. No. I think the Bible is full of myths, and it's stories to tell a greater message. So they use a depiction, the giant.
Yeah, bro, if
or the
Harry
slingshot
Potter was
with
written
the
in
little kid.
0 AD, that's what they would have followed. Like, it was just the
Agreed.
only
Right.
great novel that came out at that
But
time.
if you when you break down English and get like the true Latin term, you'll be surprised what a lot of these words really mean. You're like, oh, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah, and it was
Same shit.
rewritten so people in England could fucking get divorced and
But
not
like-
go to hell.
So, but like even Harry Potter, for example, if you broke down Harry Potter to its basic elements, what the message, what the whole moment means, you could say it's the story of Jesus, it's the story of God, it's the second coming, it's the one who did it when the other one couldn't, who persevered and made it through the strife, made it through the struggle, and this is the story, and these are his buddies that came along with him. You can go look at fucking Dragon Tales, you can look at a Spider-Man comic book, you can go look at the Avengers.
the hero's journey,
It's about
yeah.
overcoming strife.
When I
and
was
struggle.
younger, I used to say this one thing. I said, if the world burned over and the only thing we had left was a few humans and Tupac's rhyme book, they would think he was God.
Shit.
You know what I mean? They would use his.
Yeah, Jesus was just the first celebrity.
Oof. He
First
was.
influencer.
First influence.
He
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
How much would a Jesus made on OnlyFans? That's what
Oh my God! This,
You know.
Jesus Christ!
You know.
No pun intended. How many followers did he have?
You know how sexy he
They're
looked
still
up on
here.
that cross?
Jesus was like Kylie Jenner.
They're still being added.
Yeah, he's like Kylie Jenner.
Well, I mean,
A lot of followers.
think about
Pay
it.
$10 to see me take this cloth off while I'm up on the cross.
Oh my God!
I don't think he needed the money.
I'm
but,
getting nervous. Wait, time out.
but to answer your question, no, I don't think Jesus died and came back to life.
Okay,
again.
yeah.
I don't think that's possible.
I wonder
the
how
thing
many
is-
people out there, how many of you that are watching right now think that Jesus died?
Avion's so cool, believe
came
it.
back to life. No, he doesn't.
I'm just kidding.
Absolutely not. But maybe he does.
The truth of it
I don't think so.
is I don't know. The truth of it is I really don't know.
I say that a lot.
Mhm.
He said no more religious talk, my niggas. God just talked me and told me to cut the shit.
Word, retweet that.
Landon, are you serious?
So I
He said
brought a girl
retweet
on a
that.
first date to a strip club with Nems. That's
Sick.
yeah, I'm just
Okay,
trying
okay,
to
you know
change
who
the
Nems
God
is, right?
talk.
Nems, the rapper.
Yeah.
Bing
Yeah,
bong.
I think so.
So
I don't
did
know. I
you
couldn't
really?
name the song.
Yeah, I
How'd it
really
go?
did. Not great. We
Why
didn't
did it
have
go
a
great? Because you got a lap dance?
no. Oh
There's a
my
lot
god,
going
I've
on.
had no good experiences at strip clubs.
Really?
Yeah,
You haven't been with the right people.
that's true.
I'm Cameron, neither have I.
Or to celebrate the right reasons. Listen, don't go to a
I
strip
didn't
club.
know it was the strip club. I thought we were just going to a club with Nems, and then it turned out to be a strip club.
for the first
And I
date.
thought the girl would be like cool with it. Like she had blown me in a Wendy's parking
Oh,
lot
man.
before. Like I
Yo.
thought
She's a
she'd be
simple
cool
girl.
with it,
She's a simple girl.
but she did not like the strip club with Nems.
But she
Can
liked
we go back to
Wendy's.
Wendy's?
Yeah, this guy's like, go back
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
God talk.
Yeah, If you believe in God, you also have to believe in the devil, and that he is coming for those sins. Whatever. You know what? You know what I believe?
I won't go that far.
You know what I believe?
Huh.
I'm not afraid of the devil, and neither
Okay.
was I when I was
I'd
younger.
Will Smith. The
I was
shit
always
out of the
afraid.
devil.
Yeah, me too. I was always afraid to die, and I
Okay.
was afraid of what it would be like. Am I actually stuck in the casket forever with my thoughts?
Mm.
I used to cry about that as a young kid, and so I feared death early on, right? But the devil, I feel like the devil's a bitch. You know what I mean? I really do. I feel like the devil's like
I can
fucking.
do so.
I feel like the devil's like 6'9". Just a fucking shit talking troll that I'll slap the fuck out of. But shut the fuck up. I'm going back to the good route. You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
this stupid ass show on Netflix called Grace and Frankie, and not that you guys would ever watch it,
Yeah,
but
no.
they described heaven and hell in that show as the memory you leave behind.
How so?
And that shit, he's so like, if people talk well about you
okay,
after you die, then you are in
That's
heaven.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, if people are like, he was an asshole, like fuck him,
You
I'm
likely
like
ended
you're
up
in
in-
hell.
I
You're
feel
in,
like-
you're like heaven and hell is the memory you leave behind. Like, how do people
Interesting.
talk about you? How do people remember you? Is it good or bad?
I got a doper thought about heaven and hell, and it's been my way of thinking forever.
Oh,
Heaven and hell is every single day.
okay.
If you get into a relationship and you go about that relationship in the wrong way and you're doing the wrong things, you're in hell. You're always arguing, fighting. That's hell, right? Hell is, when they explain hell, is like all these problems. If you get into business and the business is a shady ass business and there's always problems in the business and you have to fucking try to fight off those problems daily, you're in hell, right? If you get into a good business and your business is good and you know you're doing positive things, heaven. Now think about the way they speak about heaven and hell. If you go into a relationship and you're doing the right things, yeah, you might have arguments here and there and shit like that because that's a relationship. But usually you're in a peaceful place, right? Peaceful. I think every single day, I think when I read the Bible, I think every day, every moment is a heaven or hell. Every single
Yeah, you
moment.
can wait.
I think if I came here and I was like, yo, tell me, like, Sam Buck, like, you're a fucking comedian, right? Like, why do you feel like you're so fucking funny? Like, I don't find you funny. And we start having a conversation like that, and we're fucking shouting back and forth. We're in hell.
Yeah, but that goes back to what we were talking about. Is God gives you the decisions to make, but
Yeah.
like, which ones are you going to make? Are
do
you?
the good things.
But you
have
know
good
what
times,
you
you're in
know.
heaven.
You know when you wake up, I can make today worth it or not.
Exactly. And I feel like, again, I don't need to take DMT. People have taken it, and I believe that I believe when people take DMT and they start talking to me, I'm like, that's how I think every day. You know, I really do.
Yeah.
Like I'm. They're like, oh, I fucking got in a fucking, I locked in a.
But just like some people are sober.
Shot up.
Some people are sober because they feel like they're high all the time. Like,
Yeah,
there's
some people have to take
like,
Adderall to calm the fuck down, right?
Yeah.
But when another person takes Adderall, they're hyped the fuck up. Drugs do different things to different people depending on where your brain is.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't need to take those types of drugs.
That's why I
I'm
never
already clear
recommend
there.
it. That's why I
Yeah.
never. Everyone's like, you got to do. It's like, no. If you feel
I'm
like
going
you
to do it.
if you
Yeah.
feel like you need to do it, then that's when
Absolutely,
you do it.
because
But
some people
like,
truly do. Like, some people need to microdose. I look at some people and the way they think, and then trying to battle them out of it, and I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't recommend this type of shit, but you might need to microdose because you're a weird son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You seem to. The devil has a hold of you, and you don't feel like you could whip his ass. I feel like I would beat the fuck out of the devil. Real shit. If the devil was real, I feel like he'd be like a fucking Aaron Carter.
Oh goodness.
You know what I mean? Like,
You're about to slap the devil then.
yeah. I feel like he'd be like a Chris Rock.
Yeah.
You know, like that's as
Chris
tough as
Rock is the devil. No.
No, I mean,
No,
like,
no,
I just
like
could smack the fuck out of him and walk off and smile.
Yeah, but see, Chris Rock, if he fought Will in that moment, that would have been bad.
No, for sure,
Right.
but he would have got his ass beat too. You're talking about Muhammad Ali.
That's
No,
what
you're
saying.
not. You're talking about Will Smith.
Yeah, but you're talking about Will Smith
the
that had
Fresh
to, you're talking about Will Smith that had to train to play Muhammad Ali. And you're talking about Chris Rock that had to train to play Pookie.
You're talking about Pootie Tang. What are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
yeah.
about?
Point
No,
taken.
Pootie Tang. He wasn't in Pootie Tang.
He created Pootie Tang.
Did he?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
I
I
think so.
signed your pity on the run account.
You know, Louis C.K. wrote and directed Pootie Tang.
Louis C.K.
Don't doubt it.
I'm sad
he's-
that
he's-
his career had to take that trajectory it did from the bullshit, because I thought it was
he's good.
funny.
Yeah, but he's back
good.
now. He's selling out tours.
Good,
and
because
shit.
Louis C.K.
like-
is a funny motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
He's like, lady told me to suck a bag of dicks. I had so many questions. How do I suck this bag of dicks?
You
know
know,
what I mean?
you know TF,
No.
the rapper TF. He just released a dope project, Blame Kansas. It has like Rock Marcy, it has Conway on it. It has it's a dope project. It's
Word.
produced by Rock Marcy and Me Fucks.
Wait, was Chris Rock in Pootie Tang?
I feel like he was.
I
Like
just
briefly.
Because Adrian said he was. Terrorist tyrants are the devil. CK is funny as fuck. Am I the devil?
I
George
didn't know.
Bush is the devil? I
I didn't
think
know
George Bush was a
CK
gangster.
meant Crip Killer. Like, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
So, like,
No.
I swear to God. So when his producer got up,
Like Tales from the Crypt?
No, like
no, like
Like he kills the
Bloods and
Crips?
like Bloods and Crips. The term CK. Like, if you look
So
at
Louis
Crip,
C.K.?
no. I just didn't know.
My
Oh,
So
God.
okay, yeah, I was about to say.
So
like,
I'm
this guy-
tripping on mushrooms, and I go to TF, his producer. I'm
Chris, hit the fucking wave by fruit. There you
like,
got it.
I'm like
Cri-
to TF. I'm tripping on mushrooms, and Mefucks gets up and moves his belt, his producer, and I'm like, "Whoa, man, don't Louis C.K. us."
Oh,
And he goes, "You know I'm a Crip, right? You can't say CK around us."
like,
and
"Whoa, that's not
I'm
what I-
tripping, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm
Hey,
sorry."
how do I explain this?
Yeah, the bad trip.
Yeah.
Oh,
What did he
man.
say?
Definitely don't say CK or BK around any gang member. Gang etiquette.
You gotta fucking pick this winner.
Oh yeah, you gotta play me
Ooh,
these
are we
songs.
gonna play
Can
all
I
of
piss
them?
beforehand?
Absolutely. Go
Alright.
ahead, go fucking pee.
Let's go. How many we bumping?
We got a lot. I guess I hate to say this. I guess we'll play the ones that we like. Because I don't want to fucking have a theme song of music that I'm not really fucking feeling like should be the one.
Right.
And it's only because I don't really want it to be the one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But are we gonna have everybody vote still?
I'm gonna post it on. Actually, Landon, could you post it on Instagram? Who's this? Hurt in a car. Let me see. What does this say?
Let's see. How many did we get?
Oh, look at that. Live on air. Let's just so you guys know. You heard it?
Yo, let me know when you're ready, fam. We can get it together.
Hey.
So we had Sirius Jones on here.
Hey.
And Sirius Jones was your boy. He's a fucking videographer.
Yes, sir. Shout
Right?
out to Rick.
And we tagged somebody tagged the fucking battle rapper Sirius Jones, the real Sirius Jones, right? And you know who Sirius Jones is, the battle rapper? Okay. You know who Jin was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His one of his biggest battle raps was battling fucking Jin. He said, "You got 2 billion people over in you got 2 billion people over in China. You couldn't even go platinum over there." I love Sirius Jones, amazing battle rapper. And anyways, so Sirius Jones got tagged in it, and he said he put shaking my head because we had a fake Sirius Jones up here, according to him.
People are hitting
You know what I
him
mean?
up like, nigga, what?
So
Tagging him
so
like,
I
"Yo,
was like,
Sirius
I
Jones
was
is
like,
here."
I was like, he's like a legendary battle rapper, and I was like, you could come up here too, motherfucker. What's up?
Right.
And so this was months ago. So he just literally at 9:47, he said,
Yo, let me know when you're ready, fam.
Hey.
We can
Oh.
get it together.
Hey.
yeah. So
That's dope.
we're gonna make that shit happen. So
Let's go.
it's tough with this fucking podcast theme song challenge
Yep.
because
We got a couple good ones, a couple dope ones.
It's good that you're having me pick it, so if the other people get mad, they're like, "This dopey white dude ruined it. This fucking, you don't know shit about music."
I feel like what I'm gonna do is
they'll look you up and they'll be like,
message
"Oh,
them
all
now.
right, he's solid."
Let me see. I feel like I have to. I have no choice, right?
What?
I feel like I got to tell people to fucking
Should we do
tune in.
Should we do a 2-part situation where his vote?
What do you like? I
weighs
feel
heavily?
like he said this nigga took a sneeze pee that was fast as fuck. A sneak
A
pee,
sneeze
pee.
pee. Never heard of that
Don't say
before.
what, Adrian. I forget. I'm lost. Hurt in the car. Call William Attar. I love fucking saying that shit. Anyways,
Which one we gonna?
we got to pick a winner.
How many tracks you got?
We got a lot,
Got a couple.
but that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say it like this. I know people are gonna watch it and be like, "This fucking asshole." I'm not trying to be an asshole. I feel like I have to pick a song or play you songs. I don't want to play you fucking 20 songs of fucking people that said I want to be on this fucking podcast. Maybe I just should. And if you could you be honest?
Oh, 100%.
All right. So
Let's
if you tell me to
go.
cut the shit off, I'll cut the shit off
All
and
right,
play
cool.
the next one.
Awesome.
All
That sounds good.
Is he picking the final one?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You
All
can pick the final 2, I guess.
What if I did it just to I picked the worst song, just to, like
I wouldn't do it.
Well, I wanted the crowd to pick, or at least have some type of say. So maybe we could do it where his vote weighs heavily.
Yeah, why don't you
Like-
just I'll
like
pick
his
You vote the top ones.
His vote's
Yeah,
worth,
yeah. I'll vote,
Landon,
like,
could
that'd be
you
good.
like send them back in the group to me? Or do I have to fucking do this shit off the email? Let me see. All right, yeah, I guess if they didn't send it to us on the fucking email, fuck 'em, right?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Hurt
good
in the
ones.
car, call William Attar.
Let's see
That's
if-
why I love being live. All right. So let's see. Are we attached? All right, so here goes song 1.
Let's go.
What did Landon say? Just scroll up. He said, I know. And Ness, you could
Already,
definitely vote.
it's not that this song sucks, but this beat is not a theme song
Okay.
beat. Sounds like it's from a 70s porno. What the fuck?
I be in Miami like dance, trying to get my bands up. Told her meet me in my office, I'm looking for
It's
a
a good
dance.
song, but it's
I ain't
not
trying to
a
romance.
So you're saying
When
cut it
I'm
off
broke,
already?
couldn't even get an answer. We getting money now, low in front of
Huh?
It's a good song.
So do I cut it off or do I keep playing it?
Keep it playing. The
Play
intro
with
is
us, you
too
run 'em
long.
down, you ain't going
That, like,
nowhere.
intro is
I'm at your
clip.
service with it all. Tryna go at low piece when I ball. Body different, always ready for the call. Hit my line, 100 racks, bust it down with my dogs. I'm at your service with it all.
It's
Tryna
good,
go
but
at low
it's not
piece
the
when I
theme
ball.
song. It's a good, but it's not the theme song.
Okay. So sorry, Rick Brown, but that's not the one.
That's a good song though. I don't want it. It's like LA vibes.
So are we gonna play the whole thing and then judge it?
Nah,
How you doing tonight?
we just
My
gotta
name
be
is-
honest. If he feels like it ain't the one, it ain't the
What
one.
up? Look, baby. I don't judge the fact you had to dance through college. Most people don't even get a chance to holler.
picture we're gonna make
What
a
made
video
you
to this shit
approach
and
me
all
off
too,
a
so.
glance, acknowledge. She said, I heard about you on the Dancer Project. Conversations open-minded, that's the best ones. Learn to clock the humble work, then step when the checks come. Listen, girl, I put you on some game like a 2K cover. Make your money work for you passively. Go invest, son.
This
Chips
is a
on
good
my
song,
shoulder,
too.
turn the chips are high rollers. It's no one like me, shawty.
It's
Don't
not a
forget the
theme
eye
song,
rolling.
like-
Popping bottles open, we gon'
All right, so Leland is
Like
out.
a theme song, you need like 5 seconds to 10 seconds that's super like just grabs your attention and mentions the name of the song.
And that's why we're gonna play him for, because he cuts him off if he doesn't feel like it's a theme song. I like it,
But it's a
because
good song.
I
Both
respect
songs
your
were
opinion
good.
on hip hop.
Both those songs are good. I'm not saying that they're bad songs, but
You know what the vibes is. 7-figure convos. Hopped out the mosh pit. Took it to the ballroom. Dancing in the building. Getting money we was born to. Moving through the streets like a brother from the forest do. I ain't finna walk it out. I chalk them out. I'm getting to it. What they really talking about? Please shut your mouth. You must be stupid. Listen when the boss talk. MIA like Ross talk. Palm trees, pretty things. Dollars on the call log. It's deeper than the internet. Little homie better log off. I ain't getting into that unless they got a budget. If not, I ain't budging. Big dog need a muzzle. Man, they ask me where I got my heart, I got it out the struggle. Man, I'm smoking on a lot of weed, it got me seeing double. The way I move around is work, she's sitting in the puddle. This is
the best
real
beat
bosses.
for a theme song. But he doesn't talk about the podcast. He mentioned it once.
Okay, I like him.
It's a good. The beat is a good intro music because it like gets you bouncing. Like
Monkeys on its way, boy. Okay, Superior, you going crazy.
Know that I'm a star, so tell him roll the camera. Made it out the projects, feel like Tony Danza. Every day is problems, gotta toe the hammer. Get up in the booth and then I go bananas. I feel like Tony Danza. Louis belt up on my waist to hold my pants up. Every day I paper chase and run these bands.
all these are fire songs. You just gotta make a
Like Tony
mixtape with
Danza.
all these songs shouting you
The
up.
projects feel like Tony Danza. Why these rappers always talking about some shit they never do? Felt a lot of pain, I'm way more stronger than I ever knew. If we get caught slipping, then them charges gon' be federal. Running up that revenue, got money on my schedule, so roll the cameras. Know some robbers, drug dealers, know some scammers. Shout out Tony, that's my Brody, but no Montana. Quarterback the team, call me Joe Montana. Know they watching down RP to both my grandma. I got angels. Every day I had to rock the same clothes. Yeah, but I can't change.
What would be the part that's the theme
Diamonds
song?
hitting, looking
Right
like
here.
you rain. I'm a star, so tell them roll the camera. Made it out the projects, feel like Tony Danza.
Ladies and gentlemen, we back. We live. It's Tuesday night.
Gotta toe the hammer.
Mr. Dancer
Get up in
Project.
the booth and then I go.
It's
we
a
are
good
live.
Feel like
again.
Tony Danza.
Again,
I
these
think
are
that's the
all
best one.
fire songs, but they're not
Every day I
theme
paper
songs.
chase
far,
and
that's
run
the best
these
one, I
bands.
think.
What do you feel about it though? Like,
I think that's a fire song. Trust me, there hasn't been a bad song yet,
But intro.
but it has to be like this is the intro to your
intro.
podcast. Like it has to
Yeah.
be like
Okay. So you want less song, more intro.
yeah.
everything has to remain. One thing we do over here at the Danza Project is everything has to remain 100% authentic, right?
We ain't gonna go edit nothing. You want the facts? Come and get it from the source in its purest form. I'm most appealing like the dealer on your nearest corner. Only as the supervillain am I feeling normal. But y'all chill when informants making it feel informal. I've been enormous, the gossip and keep popping up. I get the popping off, it's probably cause I'm popular. But what you seeing isn't real like the Oculus. I'm being monitored, they looking through binoculars. Every stanza prove I am a prospect. Besides a good author, leave it to the fans to digest. I press record and let the cameras direct. Sit down and get ready for the dance project.
Welcome to the Dancer Project.
That one's it for me so far.
Yeah.
If you had the intro play into him saying that, cut that like first verse out a little bit until it's just mentioning the Danza Project with the intro and that beat. That's a perfect intro song.
I like that one.
That's my favorite so far.
Okay.
Ooh.
Not my favorite song.
Okay.
My favorite intro song.
There is a difference.
There is. Yeah. I'm serious. You guys should make a mixtape with all these songs.
Nah,
shouting
there's
you out.
definitely
Like,
some good ones.
because of these people, what they're gonna release songs shouting you out. Like, what are they gonna do with these songs afterwards? Like,
we're gonna do a podcast compilation. You got it.
Yeah.
That one I played, right?
How you doing tonight? My name Landon. Oh, it's real simple. What up? Little
Did I play this one?
I think so.
I don't judge the fact you had to dance through college.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
most
you did.
people don't even get a chance to hide.
Thing we do over here at the
Okay, that was that one. I'm trying to find the other ones I had because I remember I sent one through.
Yo, shout out to all the artists who actually submitted.
Absolutely.
yeah,
that shit-
dude, everyone's mad talented that sent shit in. I don't want people thinking I'm shitting on their music because like every song is fire.
Right,
Like,
right. And the fact that they put it
and that's
together
cool
like
that they all like. That's dope, man.
Yeah, man. Trying to do something different, man.
I played this one, right? Yeah. That's that one.
one thing we do over
That one I played. I'm trying to find it through.
Heard you looking for the real. Just know I can point you to that show. With a real rice, take a seat. Come kick it and talk about facts. Chop it up, burn one, take a shot and talk about rap. What you talk about, homie? That's the Danza Project. That's the Danza Project. That's the Danza Project. What you watching every week? That's the Danza Project. That's the Danza Project. That's the Danza Project. I'ma tell Christian Miggs on the Danza Project. 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 Go. If you had to hustle, came up in a struggle, I can tell you what it feel like. Was up in the trenches, up in the fences, committing them crimes of a real life. I picked up a pen, could never pretend. You must about me saying real right. My team is so small, don't want no new friends. Just know that my circle is real tight. We up in the score while we up in the field, and we won't stop till we score a touchdown. I call him my jeweler, feels like a cooler. Spent 50K for a bust down. I took me a flight to Miami. I hustle, I track in my bands. I ain't from the project, know who the boss. I'm about to go kick it with Danza. Heard you looking for the real. Just know I can point you to the show. With a real rice, take a seat. Come kick it and talk about facts. Chop it up. Burn one, take a shot, and talk about rap. What you talk about, homie? That's the Danza Project. That's the Danza Project. That's the Danza Project. Go. What you watching every week? That's the Danza Project. That's the Danza Project.
I have a serious question about
That's
this.
the Danza Project.
I feel like I've heard that beat before. So even though that is a good intro song to use, you might get pulled because I feel like I've heard that beat before.
I never heard the beat, so I don't know. Is it?
It sounds like I don't even know who it is. Maybe like Dave East or
I was
something.
gonna say Dave East.
It sounds like a Dave East
There was
beat.
two that had two Dave East styles to it.
Which that's a good, especially because it uses your name a lot. Like
Yeah,
that's
Danza
good.
Project.
So if you were to pick your top
Danza
three off
Project.
the ones you just heard.
The one that has you talking at the beginning,
Okay.
the one that we all agreed was like
Yeah.
a good one. I liked that one. I'd say if that last one's beat was an original, then that would be a good one.
Yeah.
And then the one that had like a real like fucking Moneybag Yo Lil Baby style beat. The one that was like had that.
I feel like Tony Danza.
I don't think it was that one. Damn, which one was
Was
it?
that one?
It was the one.
Is this another one?
Yeah, I haven't heard this one.
Damn, there's so many of them in here.
This is fire.
Skid, start, skid, start, skid,
get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it.
Let's get the song started. What the fuck?
Holla. What made you want to approach me off of
The Dancer Project is everything.
So
has
this
to
one,
remain.
that one,
Yeah, and then what's
And
the
then-
third one you played? I think that's the one I'm talking about.
I think it's, what is the third one I played? Doom, doom, doom.
It was the 4th and the 6th,
Damn it. Where's the fucking
and
song?
then the 10th, which was the last that we played.
All right, let me try this again. Yo, there's so many on here. Like,
How many songs did you guys get?
A lot. You even sent one. Right? Is this the one that says Danza?
He fixed it. He sent a better one.
Yeah. All right, so this guy
What's
fixed
the
it.
lit read? What the business is? What's the word on the street? They wanna know who, what, when, and where. Go figure. You gotta tune in to see. I'm talking about dance. Dance. They wanna know what's the word on the street. I'm talking about dance. Dance. They wanna know what's the
See,
word on
that's
the
a
street.
good intro
We
song.
got the latest.
Which is
Superstars, different faces.
not even my
Everything on the
favorite
table.
song, but
We
that's
don't
a
talk
good
open
like
cases.
3
For the love
to
of the
5
culture,
second
we
clip
might
to play in
interview
the
you.
beginning.
Yeah. So then this was the other one? No. This was that's Shots.
Oh, that was Shots.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds
This was
just like
is this the
Shots.
Moneybag Yo one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Wait, it might be. Let me-
Know that I'm a star, so tell them roll the camera. Made it out the projects, feel like Tony Danza. Every day is problems, gotta toe the hammer.
This
Get up in the
joint
booth
does
and
like
I
have
go
a fucking
bananas.
vibe.
I
Feel like Tony Dancer.
Louis belt up on my waist,
Welcome
up
to
on my
today's
pants,
episode. Yeah.
Every day I
This
pay
is
for chicks and
episode
run these bands.
73. We are here with
Feel
Sam
like
Buck
Tony
live
Danza.
on the Dancer
Made it out the
Project.
projects, feel like Tony Danza.
That's what we gotta do to figure it out. I'll talk.
If we get caught slipping in them charges, gon'
We
be
back.
federal. Running up that revenue, got money on my schedule.
Let's
so
go.
roll the cameras. Know some robbers, drug dealers, know some scammers. Shout out Tony, that's my Brody, but no Montana.
off a glance, acknowledge. She said I
But
heard.
then
100% authentic, right?
this one is crazy.
I like that one.
We ain't gonna go edit nothing.
Said we ain't gonna go.
You want the facts? Come and get it from the source in its purest form. I'm most appealing like the dealer on
Could
the
have an
nearest
outro.
corner. Only as the super villain, am I feeling normal? But y'all chill when informants making it feel informal. I've been enormous.
Yeah, you know what it is.
But what you seeing isn't real like the Oculus. I'm being monitored, they looking
Might
through
be an outro.
binoculars.
See, this is a good song, but not one to talk over.
No, yeah, I was about to say that. I was waiting. I'll do it. I'll do it after.
Let the cameras direct, sit down and get ready for the dance project.
See, that's a good intro.
Yeah.
And the camera's
Welcome
right
to the
sit-
Dancer
yeah.
Project. Now you got a video to it. Yeah. What's up? This is episode 73. I got my guy in the building, Sam Buck from the Bucked Up Podcast. You already know what it is. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. That's here tonight. That's motherfucking ready to catch a fucking vibe. If you got a blunt, light it up. If you got a drink, pour it up. And you already know what fucking time it is.
It sucks because we got no drink to pour and I can't light my blunt up.
I know, you're right. I got a baby in the building. He's right. I gotta pull out the deep voice. So is that the one?
That one?
Is that your favorite one?
That
Evan?
one's my favorite one, yeah.
Okay. So is it the top? Is that the top three? Him, Shots, and
Yeah.
Moneybag Yo.
It would be
Joey
cool to get
Blanco?
Shots. It's just cool that Shots did one. Shout out Shots.
Yeah.
For real.
Good
Shout out to
dude.
Shots.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Young legend.
So those are the top three. Those are we're gonna have the fans vote them
Right.
on the IG then.
Okay.
I
His
think that'll
vote
be
weighs
cool.
heavily. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, his vote definitely
Made
weighs
some great
heavily.
points. For
I mean,
sure.
we just knocked off a few tracks. Those people are gonna unfollow right now. Fucking guys.
I forgot
Who
we
the
had
fuck
so
is
many,
he?
man.
I'm not gonna fucking
It's-
follow
it's-
Sam
it-
Buck.
It's a blessing to have that many, man. It's really crazy. See how and these people whip these up in a day or two.
Yeah, that's
24,
wild.
No, they really
48
did. Yo,
hours.
That's
there was people that had sent the track in like Like
said, "Oh, bet,
after
I
the
got you."
podcast was over,
Yeah.
when I was talking about that shit, or after I stopped talking about it, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Crazy. I
That's
remember being
crazy.
at work, getting hype about it, seeing different ones come through, and I'm like, "Oh, I gotta listen to this one." I'm at the crib, like, "What you listening to?" People making intros, and like, "What?" That's definitely
Man,
fire.
that you know what though? I feel bad because some people are gonna be like, "Whoa, what asshole?" I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is my
Nah.
baby. This is my baby.
Nah, fuck
what I
them.
mean? Yeah.
They sent music in to be judged.
Absolutely.
Like that's
Right.
like getting mad about being on American Idol when you don't get through. It's like you didn't like you did it for a competition.
True.
Like
Yeah, nah,
if
real
you
shit.
can't handle this, if you can't lose in this,
Fuck you,
then
Ness.
you don't deserve
Then
to
send
be.
the fucking track in.
You don't
Ness.
deserve to
top.
be in the fucking music industry.
Nah,
If that
absolutely,
shit
real
like
shit.
That's real.
upset, it's like someone who bombs on stage and then they're like, "Fuck comedy, I'm done with it forever." It's like, nah.
Have you ever bombed?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding? Oh my god, I've had. Oh nah, bro. I bombed last week so bad I thought, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
where were you?
where was that? I blocked it out of my memory. It was so bad.
Yeah,
Like,
that bad.
there's just shows that are bad. Like,
Right.
shit. I have had cops threaten to arrest me because I did jokes about cops. I've had people throw drinks at
shit.
me. I've had people threaten to murder me.
I gotta see your
Like,
set. I want to see your
I've
set.
had
now,
some
man.
fucking crazy bad sets. And I've had some crazy good sets too.
Right.
More, but the bad ones are.
How's your
Are the bad ones more memorable?
Yeah, but you have to be a masochist to be a stand-up. Like,
That's what they say.
yeah.
I feel like, God damn it, I'm a funny motherfucker. I am. I just
Okay.
don't know if stand up is my funny, but I feel like if I stood up in front of a crowd and that was me, that'd be pretty funny. I'm a funny guy.
Yeah, it's so different than you expect it.
Yeah,
to
I feel like
be.
I would be T.I. I'd get booed immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be honest with myself. I just feel like
So,
I'm a funny guy.
You gotta work out, man. One thing about being a
I do work
comedian,
out.
but you gotta work out your set. You gotta work out your
I do
material.
work
But that's
out
like if I
myself.
told you
Fucking 10
any of my
reps.
jokes right now, like if I just told you my jokes, you'd probably be like,
Fucking
okay.
trash. Just fucking
Because
tell us
comedy
a joke,
isn't a
goddammit.
monologue.
Tell us a goddamn joke.
It's a conversation.
Tell me a fucking joke.
MILFs are like the used cars of women. So what if they have a few dents? They fit a family inside of it.
Hello.
That's the only one-liner.
But tell
I
me a
have.
joke. Okay, so now joke live.
I mean, I have been. I told you that I asked how much money Jesus would get on OnlyFans. That's
True.
That's it.
like I tell.
Okay, so tell me jokes about the tracks.
No, he did. He's like, I wish you'd get to this track.
Yeah, this dude's like, let's get it started. It's
Get this
fucking
track started.
no, but stand-up's a conversation. It's a conversation where you're in charge. So like stand-up is you say something that the audience is about to reply to, and then you cut them off with the next thing.
Okay.
It's like always, yeah, the setup is they're like, you say something that they're going to reply to, and then you cut them off with something that makes them laugh. And then you say something they're going to reply. It's a conversation. It's not a monologue. When you start comedy, everyone just writes out like a speech. And then you go up there and you read the speech, and people are like, what the fuck?
Doesn't translate.
No, you have to say something. So like I have a joke where I go like, are there any couples here? And then they're like, yeah. And I was like, any pet owners? And then a couple will laugh and raise their hand. And I'll be like, oh, you guys. So now I'm in the conversation with them. And I go, do you guys get it on in front of your pets? And automatically the room's going to laugh at that question. Because if you have a pet, you're like, do I? And if they say no, then I can say, thank God. If they say yes, then I go, what, you fucking put it in the crate and Clockwork Orange it? Like you have to set yourself up for different situations, how they're going to react. And then the whole joke, that's all
You're a
based.
single guy.
Yeah. But that's
You have a
all
pet.
based on me going, I have a
Do you have-
black
do you have
lab named
pets?
Ruby. Yeah. And I go, I can't do it in front of her. I can't. But if I'm over a girl's house and she has a dog, I'm definitely fucking in front of her
I
dog.
saw it, by the way.
So
I
that
watched your shit.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I go, so that shows me what type of stepfather I'm gonna be.
But let me ask you this: how long are you
tried it
away
all
from your dog?
Long periods of time.
Who's watching your dog?
My dad.
Okay.
My dad.
Because I was about to be like upset about
No,
who
no.
the fuck
But,
is
like,
watching?
you
Do you
set
think
up
your
this-
dad gets it on in front of your dog?
Probably.
Does that upset you?
No.
Okay.
But it's a joke because like I set that
Does your
whole
dad get
thing
down with
up.
your mom, or is it another person?
My stepmom.
Oh, do you like your stepmom?
Yeah, she's all right.
All right.
No, she's very. I love my step. Yeah, I love my
You
step.
say yeah.
The reason yeah, I do like my stepmom.
She's not mom. That's it. That's all it is.
But like you set up a whole thing for if I just said like I don't have sex in front of my dog, but if a girl does, I have sex in front of her dog. I think that shows me what type of stepfather I'm going to be.
Yeah,
people might laugh. It's a 15-minute, or I can
Right.
turn that into a conversation where I build up the suspense.
Okay.
And it's just that's a stupid joke. Like that's, but I build up the suspense and then I
Yeah.
have something to
That's
like.
fire.
Right.
It's like it's so different
That's
than
good
you
work.
actually.
It is. Stand-up comedy, like this live stream, right? Like when we go live with people, it is fucking so hard to fucking do this for a lot of people because you kind of got to be on the fly. You actually do
Absolutely.
have to be on the fly.
Yeah.
And so it's not relatable to stand up because I don't have to say something funny and captivate the crowd in that way. I could just talk, but at the same time, you kind of got to lure in the audience.
Yeah,
or you're
Definitely.
fucked.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because we could go on and be on here and like I pay attention to analytics. Do you?
Mhm.
When you look at your YouTube,
Mhm.
and I watch that people watch for a substantial amount of time, and it's always saying like it's more than the average. The people that watch it's more than average, much higher than average, and shit like that. It says on the thing. It because like we're able to captivate a crowd. Now that wasn't the case in the beginning, right? The beginning. I think was probably the most excitement. Oh, Miguel's gonna do a podcast. Meg's gonna do a podcast. Dance is gonna do a podcast.
Check it out.
And then fucking 40 people tune in off of the Facebook, right? And then it's like one viewer. You know what I mean? A few minutes later.
Yeah.
And so like it's like, Then I started doing promotions on the shit early on, and it would show like with a dip off, and the dip off was like within 30 seconds. It's like people didn't want to watch it. And as we got better, as we really understood what our objective is, I noticed that the promotions when I was paying to promote this shit, it was like clicks. You know what I mean? It used to say like 1 or 2 clicks or 12 clicks, and I paid fucking like $300 for fucking 12 real clicks. You know what I mean? And then it was like 9,874 clicks. You know what I mean? And I'm like, people are really like, we must be getting somewhere with it.
Right.
Because
you know what I mean?
at first, when you release episodes, it's friends that want to support you, but
Yeah.
friends aren't going to pay your bills. Fans are, strangers are. Like
True.
once people who don't know you start seeing your shit, that's the people. Because like it's like when you have a friend who's like, I want to be a rapper, and then they play you their music, and you're like, oh, that's good,
cool.
but you're never gonna play it on your own. You're never gonna sit in your car and put that friend's song on unless they really are good.
All right, so you heard my song already. What a
no,
piece of shit
that's
he
why
is.
I said
You
to
see
you.
what he's saying? Nah,
no,
fucking with
but
you.
that's why I said to you. I said this is better than I expect because I was like, oh damn, like this is actually something I fuck with, and I have friends who I actually like their music, but like people who don't have any stock in you are going to be the ones that share you because they're just like, look at this cool clip, not just oh look at what fucking Sam shared, because it's like
that's one thing they say about comedy too. Doing a set in front of people who came there to see you, it's going to go a lot better than doing a set in front of people who came to see Jim Gaffigan.
Like when I did my show in Philly, like when I do shows, usually I'm on a lineup of people who are there to see comedy, not there to see me.
Right.
But when I did my show in Philly, everyone was there to see me.
Yeah, you're killing
so
it.
Like I can tell a joke about TF. And everyone knows who TF is, so I don't have to explain to them. Like I can, or
less
like
guesswork.
Exactly, or like I can do a joke about Conway, like I can tell the story of the podcast with Conway, and they already know it, so I don't have to explain to them who he is, why it's crazy that I'm talking to him. Well, you know what I mean? It's like,
but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's doing stand up is a very hard thing to do. And how did you build up that confidence to jump in front? And what was that like the first time that you did that?
So there's this thing with comedians where it's like most comedians do I'll just tell my story. I don't even want to speak for other people. The first time I did comedy, I did it at the Comedy Store in LA, the most famous comedy club in the world, and I used a fake ID to get in because it was a 21 plus
Let's
club.
go.
And I killed. And then I bombed.
You said you killed. As
I
in
killed.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I bombed for years after that.
Damn.
And
So
I
you
always
got,
heard
like, the
comedians
high and
talk
then,
about that, where they're like, my first set was so good and then I bombed for years. I was like, what are they talking about? But that's really how it is.
Were you chasing the same ghost, or what was it that you were
Yeah,
doing?
you chase the same ghost. And then you realize that talent is your foot in the door. It's the amount of time that you put into it after that. So it's like, I had the adrenaline of the first time. I probably
Right.
like, we can pull it up. It's the clip is on YouTube of me doing stand up the
Landon?
first time.
Oh, sick. So-
It's on my YouTube, but then
So were you just trying to constantly
Landon's
replicate
so
that
fucking
session?
exactly,
This motherfucker's
and that's
sharp. I
when
gotta send him
I
more
just now I'm like
Don't close that, Landon.
it's like rap. It's like the first time you rap. I don't know, like no rapper's gonna make
First
fucking
hit-
their
first
first
hit
albums
single.
exactly like that. It takes time. It
Damn,
takes.
I don't even know how I did that, man. I
Who's
just-
gonna get to the 10,000 hours?
So,
Like,
you seen this motherfucker? What the fuck do you
10,000
want?
hours.
Piece of shit. Landon. Landon. We need that clip to be popped up. YouTube.com/bucked up podcast.
yeah, Or if you look up on YouTube Sam
BUCKED.
Buck's first set or Sam Buck.
No, I'm just somebody asked his what's your
Bucked Up podcast.
What is the link to it?
But I also that's what you like. I just know I am a comedian. I don't know why, and I just know that I'm gonna keep working on it. And that's why when people are like, people be like, I don't find you funny, or like, I don't like your stand up, and that's fine because I don't either, motherfucker. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it to get better.
Right,
Like you think I'm gonna get better by stopping because you don't think I'm funny? Like no, I'm gonna get better by doing it more and more. Like I'm gonna
facing that fear.
And that's what these like people. I've been doing
time out.
stand up.
I got you. Oh, go ahead. Do what you do.
I've been doing stand up more than
Scared me.
longer than podcasting. Like I've put people don't realize the hours I put into stand up. They don't realize that when I started, I was working 60 hours a week, driving 2 hours to and from mics to do 5 minutes after working a full day. So I'd be getting home at 1 a.m. the next day.
Yo, by
have
the
to
way,
get up
Shot sent
to-
me a message that says, "Time out. The beat is original."
Hey,
Word. I asked if it was a beat.
He said, "Time out. The beat is original. I'm Shots. I don't rap on other people's beats."
Word. All right. Then that
he
is
says,
a
he says Conway will kill him.
Of-
Just so you know. So
I wonder if that
is,
sample has been used or something before.
Right,
like
right.
that was it. But that's why I just wanted to ask
just
because
so
I
you
do
know.
that sometimes.
I
hear-
had a feeling, but I was like, I don't know, because I don't know.
Right.
Shit. But there you go.
Shout out Shots.
Shout out Shots.
Sure,
Everyone
sure.
go stream.
Free Rose,
Rose.
and then fucking man, this dude, Shots. You know, the rap radar, or release radar, whatever the fuck it is. The Spotify will give you like the playlist, the shit you listen to.
Yeah.
I heard a track that I feel like I want the clip to be shareable, but I heard a track and I heard a track, boom, 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 and then I heard Shots come out, and Shots killed these motherfuckers on this track. Killed them.
And that's
I
the
was like,
crazy
damn, I
thing
feel
about
bad.
Shots. We're talking about how it's just the amount of time you put in. Shots hasn't been rapping that long. Like when I talked to him, he hasn't been rapping long at all.
The
and
Shots
he's
could rap.
fucking-
I had him. We used to do, on every show we used to do this thing where it was called the Vibe Session. I stopped doing it just because I don't really feel like there was the time for it. The Vibe Session was I just throw beats up on YouTube and we just all rap. Everyone had to fucking rap. You know what I mean? I don't know if we should bring it back and make you rap.
No.
but we used to do that. It was just a pure vibe, and you just had to freestyle.
Everyone always asks me, they're like, are you doing this because you really want to rap? And it's like, no, not at all.
So I'm gonna get into
don't.
that question too. But like, what I was gonna say about that is Shots freestyled, and he killed it, and it wasn't over. We got like a recorded clip after, and he was smoking that shit. He went off, and I'm like, this dude actually has a very fucking deep passion for rap. It's a freestyle and off the top, and I could freestyle. Throw a beat on, I'll literally freestyle for fucking 5 hours.
Motherfuckers complain about, oh, I can't get studio time. I can't do this, that. I pulled up to the Radisson in Buffalo, and Shots had a music studio set up in the hotel room.
Yeah,
and he recorded his album in the hotel room.
Yeah, there's no reason for people to complain about that. I'm sorry about that camera going blurry. But a question, I'll wait for Chris to come back out before I ask you this question. By the way, I wish there was fucking. I mean, that one they can't see yet. So when Chris walked by, he fucked it up.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't do anything, Landon. I don't know what you did. Chris will fuck
the camera.
And it's not the camera that you guys are seeing when I'm talking. Go ahead, Chris. You can fix that. Yeah. Now I think when you take it off, it'll be fine. It's not really working, Landon.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, that was a fucking interesting fucking thing you just did there. That's fucking intelligent.
And now
what a great critical thinker. So now I'm going to ask you this question: if you were in a crossroads, and they said you are going to blow up in either podcasting or comedy, but you could only choose one.
I choose comedy 10 times out of 10. Okay. I started the podcast interviewing stand-up comedians because comedy stopped. I started stand-up, 100% stand-up. Mm-hmm. That's why it's so funny that the podcast got bigger than my stand-up and helps the podcast, because the podcast seems like a dream to me. It doesn't seem real. Like if you were you interviewed Conway the Machine, right? I'd be like, no, I didn't. And I did. I have a fucking official credits on a Conway the Machine track.
That's sick.
Real shit. Yeah.
That's
on his album.
On Greetings Earthlings, not on God. But that's so funny to me. And it's crazy to me. But stand up, when I said God told me I was a stand up, I'm not lying. I don't know all that God talk. I don't know anything. I was talking out my ass during all that. You can say whatever you want about all that shit. The only reason I know God is why I believe in God is because I'm a comedian. And I don't know why, but that's my path.
And I do believe in God, by the way.
I do too.
And I'm just saying I'm not overly religious, but I definitely believe in God.
And I believe that he put me on this earth to be a comedian. And I believe that I'm going to be...
So I'm not even going to right now because of you or because of God?
I'm here right now because God gave me passion and determination, which he didn't give everybody. And I listen to those two feelings, which not everyone who has those feelings listen to.
Okay.
Good answer.
I like the answer. Yeah. He fucking got right there, right in between. Fucking.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to ask you another fire question. In this world, the world is a fucking huge place. True. There's a lot of time that goes by. A lot of the times when people tell you to rate something, it's 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Life is long. 1 to 100.
Life?
Where do you feel like you are in your life right now? Out of 1 to 100.
What do you mean by that?
100 is the end. 100 is success. 0 is the beginning. Where along your journey are you?
All right. Can you give me 30 seconds to think about it?
You can take as long as you want.
Give me 30 seconds. I really am going to think about this in a serious way. You'll know why.
Because I really want to know, and I'll talk through it while you're thinking about it. I really, what I ask people a lot of the time is to just try to find out where they are in their journey and how they view life. This question shows you the difference between a lot of people and how they view life. Because somebody might have a different answer and say they're at X number, and the reason they're at X number is because it is. And then somebody might say they're at this number, and the reason that their number is because of this. But both of the numbers are damn near the even thought. You know what I mean?
I would say I'm at 2.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's the lowest number we've heard.
I'm at 2.
Okay.
In
Why
50
are you at
years,
2?
in 50 years, I'm going to be 74 years old.
Okay.
I feel like at 74 is a good time you can relax.
Okay.
You don't have to push anymore. At 74, your life is your life. Like the last 10 years, the last 2, you could have 2 years, you could die before that.
Right.
And I've been doing my podcast 2 years.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, in my podcast, I might have been pushing before that, but my podcast was my intro to the world, where the world finally decided that it liked what I was doing.
Okay.
So if I've been doing the podcast 2 years, I want to push for another 50 years.
Okay, so 50 times 2.
Yeah.
This guy's fucking getting creative over here.
I'm serious. That's why I was like, you have to, like, I really do. I think I'm on a 2 out of 100.
There's no wrong answers.
I think at 74, I hope people, I hate talking about how I view myself.
Okay.
Because I hate myself, and if you listen to my podcast, you know how like bad I feel about myself and how like I.
Wait,
but
you
I
hate
also
yourself?
I do so bad.
It's a terrible thing.
But I also believe I'm gonna be. I believe in myself.
Okay.
So
I
you don't
believe in
hate
myself.
yourself.
I
You're
do
lying.
hate myself. I
All
believe.
right, God damn it, shut the fuck up.
No,
this is where I'm gonna take over the room, and I'm gonna be.
We'll argue.
I'm gonna be
this is
some
where
sort
we're
of a
gonna
mentor.
argue
Yes, it
about
is.
our
Thank God.
ideas.
God damn it.
Fucking.
You don't hate yourself, and I'll tell you why you don't hate yourself. You sitting here even slightly explaining that you hate yourself is a fucking lie. Now, you might believe it right now. I just want you to know that it's a lie, and I'll tell you why it's a lie, because nobody that hates themselves is willing to go in front of a room and tell jokes.
Not true.
I think that you have to
Nobody
hate
that hates
yourself to do
themselves.
it.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's the lie, though. That's the lie. Because people you ever meet somebody that really actually hates themselves?
I think so. Yeah.
Like actually hates themselves.
Yeah.
They're closer to suicide, right? And let's not mistake it for the fake I hate myself. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a fake version of it and there's a real version. I've seen people that genuinely actually hate themselves. And I don't want you to ever get yourself stuck in that idea. Although I know you're a comedian and you could
see the
dive in and
comedy.
out.
I'm a comedian, which is the darkness is there, and I do. Like I could
Let me tell you why you love yourself. Let me tell you why you love yourself. Let me tell you why you love yourself.
I want to argue with you right
I
now.
want to argue
about
too,
this.
but let me tell you why you love yourself. Because you say things like, God put you here for comedy. You feel like the world is finally accepting what you do. Nobody that hates themselves could even fucking say that shit out loud. They don't believe it. They hate themselves. There's no, they didn't put me here. He doesn't like me. He doesn't care about me. God doesn't love me. That's more the shit you'll hear. You truly believe in yourself and what you're doing. When you're doing these interviews that you're doing with people, I mean, you're passionate about it. You can't fucking love rap music as much as you do if you hated yourself. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. People have their escapes, but you are passionate about this escape. Like when you sit down in the room with a Conway the Machine, how did you feel?
Amazing. But this is where, all right, there was a time in my life when I started the podcast where I was 50 pounds lighter than I am now. I was meditating every day. I was doing yoga every day. I was journaling every day.
Shout out to yoga.
I was doing every day.
Shout out to mindfulness.
Every day. And I loved that I did that.
Right.
And my podcast had no views at that point.
Maybe at that time you hated yourself.
At that time, I loved myself.
Okay.
Now I have people coming up to me going, I love your work. I love what you do. They want to take pictures of me. They want this, that. Like, but I hate myself because I can't force myself to get on the routine that I was on when I was happy. I know that if I woke up tomorrow morning
So
and
you hate your-
meditated
so you're
and
saying-
journaled
That's
and
bullshit.
did yoga
So
and
you're
worked
saying that you
out,
hate yourself because you want to be better.
yes.
Okay, that's not hating yourself. That's just striving for more.
All right.
I fucking hate myself every day if I were to live, if I were to think the way you thought, because I always want to be greater than what I am today. I wish I could get up at 5 a.m. I'm already up at 5 a.m. God damn it. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
go to sleep. I wish I could fucking figure out a way to get my sleeping right. It's cool for my baby. He's always got me. I'm always fucking right there. He wants to cry. You want to fucking make a noise. Daddy's here. What's going on?
You know what?
It's your dad.
I will then take a step back and say, as a
You
comedian,
love yourself.
As a comedian,
You love yourself.
I do love myself.
Okay,
I do love myself.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at somebody that loves themselves because you are here today on this podcast because you love yourself. I'm sitting in the car with you. We're riding around. We're having a conversation, and I'm like, man, this motherfucker travels the world. This dude says, I am leaving Miami. I'm going back to Boston. I'm going to get in the car, and I'm going to drive 12 hours to Chicago to a West Side gun event.
Yeah.
You got to motherfucking love yourself in your life to be able to take that 12-hour motherfucking drive. Am I right?
You're right. You're right.
No, because I look at you and I don't want people to get a fucking wrong opinion about you. That's why I wasn't gonna let you say it too far because I'm like, man, this isn't a dude that by any means hates himself.
I need to change my mentality about because comedians. I started comedy as like as I said, I just wanted to say shit. And it's almost like you want to tell secrets. And that's a masochist thing.
Yeah,
but now I want to be a comedian, so it's not about hating yourself. And also I'm around a lot of people that want what I have and don't realize what it takes to get where I am.
Right.
So I feel like maybe I do that to lessen the blows of people who are jealous.
Okay.
Where it's like, how are you jealous of me? I hate myself. But then that starts to spiral until you actually start doing
absolutely,
it. Yeah.
Right. And so like I'll tell you this. If I saw you as a person that hated themselves and people that do hate themselves, I'd be like, yo, hey, we're doing a podcast tonight. Are you ready? Yeah, I think. You know what I mean? I don't get the shit that you're saying.
But
Yo,
I
I'm
hate myself
excited
when
about
I
the
go to
podcast.
McDonald's. Like, or I hate myself that I can't.
I hate
like,
myself when I don't hate myself ever. God damn it, I'm a fucking amazing human being. No, but I hate myself when I lose control of my temper.
You
know
see,
what I mean?
that's okay, and that's another thing. Is like I've hurt people that
You hate
loved
that you
me
do it.
exactly.
Yeah. But that doesn't
like,
mean you hate yourself. You just hate you just hate that there's pieces of you that aren't perfect yet.
Right. And that's
You
what I
know?
was gonna say. I don't think anybody actually hates themselves.
No, there's
I
people
think,
that
No, there- I
definitely
mean-
hate
all right,
themselves.
but hear me
Yeah.
out. I don't think it's that you hate yourself. I think it's that you hate the things that you've been through. I think you hate the way you might have handled the situation or mishandled the situation. You hate not taking the opportunities you didn't take, or not standing up when you should have stood up, or not making the right decisions when you're supposed to make those decisions. It's not that you don't like yourself, or else you more than likely wouldn't be here if you confidently came to the agreement that I don't like myself, I hate myself. You just hate what you've been through. But being in your field and doing what you do, it's more so of using that, like we said earlier, to fuel you. That's what feeds the fire. It's that I'm not my greatest self yet. That's what you're not liking, and even then it's not really a hate thing, but it's like a necessary evil.
It's like a diet.
Absolutely,
It's
yeah.
like a diet. Like you have to find a diet. Like there's no 30-day diet. You have to find your
You want me
diet
to tell
for
you what
life.
the best diet is right now?
What?
Eating on a schedule. Eat whatever the fuck you want, but do it on a schedule. Best diet ever.
What's your schedule?
First off, you wanna lose weight?
Yeah.
You have to speed up your metabolism. How do you speed up your metabolism?
Eat more often.
So if you ate every hour and a half, 2 hours, but stopped at 5 meals, 6 meals, you would lose a lot of weight. Somebody taught me that shit, and I always felt like I was badass. I took the pictures of myself in mirrors and shit in the gym. When I first moved out here, I was like, I could fit into Miami. Fucking Baywatch. You know what I mean? Because over here, like, you got to be like,
Yeah, bro, everyone's fucking jacked and tatted.
that's what I'm saying. Over here,
everyone in Miami is jacked, tatted, and tan.
look,
That's
just a disclaimer.
It don't matter what race you are,
problems.
you're all everyone's the same color in Miami.
Here it is. Here's the controversy. Just so everyone knows, I have no problem with the LGBTQ community.
Here
right?
we
Did I say that
go.
right? LGBTQ.
I didn't like that you pointed at me when you said it.
No, because here was why I pointed at you, because you said you have to. You said you're like, you gotta be careful about the shit you say online. So I'm like, I'm gonna say this right. God damn it. There's words that people take too far that used to be just cool words, especially when we were kids, right? Like we use certain words, and it was like, okay, it was just amongst friends. I feel like when I moved to Florida, not in the offensive way, but I became a real faggot. Like,
I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay, not in the offensive way, but I got too far
Pause.
I got too far into like gym life, and like, look, I wanted to be like,
Yeah, nothing's
like,
gayer than
there was-
taking care of yourself. That's
no. But there was like too much. I took too much fucking gym selfies, and I was like, look, I'm fucking shredded.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people do that shit out here. I became too Miami for a little bit because I'm like, man, I gotta look good out here. You know what I mean? If you want to fucking get the ladies, you know what I mean? There's a lot of gym goers out here, even though I was always healthy. Now, here goes the thing. So I was always a bigger dude. Like, as far as like workout, I'm short, small, stocky motherfucker. But I was a little bit, I always had my fat on me. There was a time where I'm training at this gym because I destroyed my spine. Like, destroyed it. My spine is so bad. All right. Like I told you, if I was skydived, I'm afraid of what would happen when I landed and if it would be the last time I would walk again. That's how scared I am that's how bad my spine is. That's what I'd be afraid of, is landing. Because I play basketball sometimes and a jump would have me fucking crawling off the court. Literally. It's happened plenty of times because I always think I could play again. You know what I mean? It's always like, you know what, I could do it. Yo, timeout. Timeout, yo. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I feel that way. Now, I'm in the gym, I'm working out, and there's this dude who's like, yo, you're in great shape, but like, eat different. And I'm like, yeah, I eat fine. You know what I mean? He's like, well, just eat what you eat. Matter of fact, here, tell me what you eat. I'll give you a schedule on how to eat it. Same shit I was eating every single day. And I just told him. And he broke it down into a schedule. Do this, eat this at this time, this at this time, this at this time, this at this. Bro, I got like super shredded. And I'm like, wow.
It's really real.
Selfies, you know what I mean? But like, I felt like a god, like a Greek god. I was chiseled. I was fucking diesel as fuck. Diet doesn't mean that you have to eat shitty food. A diet means that you have to eat on a schedule. So if you want to lose weight, just to let you know, it's really not about, it is, obviously you got to eat a little bit cleaner food maybe, but it's more about eating on a schedule and getting your metabolism going the right way, and then boom, happens. Just so you know. I wanted to put that fucking out there. Just so everybody knows.
I'm happy. No, that's true. Because I'm so bad at like I have one meal a day usually, and then I'm like, how the fuck am I gaining all this weight? I'm having
because you're getting your dick sucked at Wendy's.
That is true.
It's one way to gain weight.
You didn't even eat the meal; you gave it to her.
Hello.
She had the meal and dessert.
Frosty. Oh man.
Hurt in the car, call William a time. But hey, it happens.
It definitely happens.
That's so funny.
She ate
about
fucking nuts. Did she?
It's
imagine like
I get more pussy
how
when
many-
I'm fat than when I'm in shape.
because you don't give a fuck.
That's exactly.
And
Yeah.
so you're walking up to the girl like, you want to fuck or nah?
Yeah.
Do you like the way I flick my tongue or nah?
I tell you what, comedians get laid though.
They do.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, because they're funny.
I'm tall and funny. That's the only thing.
Yeah, females love funny guys.
And
So was this the first date, Arby's?
The Wendy's? Yeah,
Or
the
Wendy's,
Wendy's.
Wendy's.
The Wendy's was the real first date.
The real actual first date?
Yeah, we went smoking.
You never hung out with her before that?
No, we're smoking and
Man,
driving.
that's
She
gotta
blew
be
me in a
tough.
Wendy's parking lot, and then I brought her to the strip club.
Hey.
Like, so many questions. But does a female, do you think that you would take them serious after such a situation?
That's what I said. No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought a strip club. I mean, I knew it. I thought it was just gonna be a rape, but I was like,
Wait, she got mad about the strip club?
we never hung again, and she
Did-
didn't blow me in the car that night.
But do you think she was embarrassed about her first time hanging out with you?
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
Could we call her up live and ask?
No.
Oh my god. Well, to be honest, I just didn't like how.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have her phone number anyways?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could ask her after.
I could.
Yeah. Just be like, was it the strip club or the Wendy's? You know what I mean?
I mean, she blew a friend of mine in his car a
Well,
couple months later. I think
Jesus
that's
Christ.
just
A
her
serial
move.
blower.
Yes, she's a serial blower.
Serial
I
blower.
like it. The serial blower. Hey,
I was
it
in a
happens.
Burger King parking lot. She switched.
Well,
it.
I mean, she
got class.
downgraded.
Exactly.
Take her to a
Used to-
Chipotle.
used to
and
be the fucking magic
blow
trick.
her mind.
Oh yeah, do you?
But like, I mean, it happens, right? Like that's just.
What's the craziest? That's something I've hooked up in some weird places in my life.
I'm not about to ask the question that you almost asked.
What's the weirdest
answer the
place you
question. Yeah.
fucked?
Yeah, I don't want to
It's a
answer
great
the
question.
question. It is a great question, but I don't want to like.
This isn't
I
that
don't-
type of show.
yeah, no, I just don't
listen
wanna-
to Bucked Up if you want to hear those.
I don't want to
types
get
of
beat up.
questions.
There you go.
Oh, I understand.
It's funny. Like it's funny. Chris is on the side here trying to focus the other cam because it decided it just didn't want to behave today.
There we go.
Ooh, but there you go. That's fucking good. I plead the fifth.
See, I'm a comedian.
I've pled the fifth before.
That's
Plead
why.
it.
That's why it's crazy to me that girls want to hook up after shows.
Uh-huh.
It's like you just heard me talk about
all my dirty secrets.
all my
But
dirty
they
secrets and
probably
hooking up
wanna
with
be on
other
it.
girls. Yeah,
There's some of that too.
yeah. This
Sure.
girl
That
wanted
15
me to.
seconds of
This
fame.
girl wanted me to fuck her and talk about it on the podcast. Like that was her
Sick.
thing. And I was like, I'm not gonna have your pussy sponsor the podcast. Like that's not like.
I would have set. I would have
This
set my
episode is
camera up.
brought to
I
you
would've
by
set my
Blank's
camera up
Pussy.
and been like, "Hey, let's do this
Yeah.
live. Let's do it live. Showtime, baby." That's what we're doing.
Okay, Ray J.
Hey, if she by request, by all means,
You would never.
I could.
You would never live.
Plead the fifth. No, why live?
No, I'm just saying you wouldn't air it.
I mean, I could at a later date.
Yeah, but you wouldn't.
behind a paywall.
You're not that type of guy. Yeah, there you go.
Put
You-
that one in the
yeah,
bank.
Yeah,
baby.
that one's like a. You know, what I mean, it's an NFT.
If she came to do that, she came to perform.
No, she just
Let's
wanted me
put
to.
on
You could
the
put
She
her
just
on
wanted me
Patreon.
to talk about it.
You could put her
the
on
pod.
Patreon.
She just wanted to be talked about sexually in a public forum.
Tell her you needed a refresher.
Can I tell you what
Yeah,
I
sure,
think
let's
about?
do it.
Nope.
I'm like,
Some
if you listen to the
I'm not
Danza
gonna say
Project,
Check my flow.
you think one podcast host is good? Why don't you get tag teams by them?
Leave me out of it. I'm at home. Like,
Your
I'm-
baby's in the other.
Yeah, I know. It's both of them.
You
Yeah,
fucked
one
up
of 'em-
having me on the
yeah,
podcast.
One of them. You know, my son is Puerto Rican, Dominican,
Mhm.
Colombian,
Mhm.
and Venezuelan.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Not only is he going to be a gangster, his mother is a murderer. I'm not trying to fucking sit here and have these type of conversations. It's funny, like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like I'm sounding funny about it, but I'm dead ass serious. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those
Jeez.
moments you guys start talking too much.
Her ears to the
Yeah.
door.
Oh yeah, and then Benzino was up here a couple weeks ago, right? And like I'm okay. I'm down to hang.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Yo, I got an event going on tomorrow. Y'all should come through." And immediately I'm like, "Word, there.
Yeah.
I'm there." You know,
Yeah.
Kelvin's like, "I'm there." Chris is like, "Word, what do you got going on?" Chris probably not gonna go, but he's like, "Da da da da," and he's like, you know, it's at this place at the strip club, and my first thing was saying I was there, and then I'm sitting here, he's sitting right here, and I'm like, I can't.
I'm busy.
Let's-
I'm busy.
You know what I mean? Landon, sign off. You know what I mean? I'm not going. Not Stop talking about those things in my house, Benzino.
Oh my God! Speaking of another, so Benny's birthday was in Rochester.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it was at this big warehouse.
Shout out Benny the Butcher.
Shout out Benny the Butcher.
Yee.
It was at this big warehouse, and there was a smoke event with
Let's
like
go.
there, and then there was like a private party after. So it was like general admission, everyone's smoking,
And
2 floors, ashing on the floor, crazy.
That's
Then
dope.
everyone leaves, the private event
Uh-huh.
happens. They bring a bunch of strippers in.
Let's go.
So these strippers are twerking on the floor where everyone's been ashing and shit. Like
wait.
fucking pussy popping on the dirty ass floor. Like, what
yeah.
the fuck?
Ash pussy.
Yeah, legit. So I find the dude who runs it, like who's in charge of the building, and I'm like, what is this place? Like that we can smoke, bring strippers in, and then throw Benny's birthday party. Like, what the
Right.
fuck is this place? He was like, oh, during the day, this is a center for autistic children.
Oh.
No!
Pussy and ash all over the floor.
Yeah, fucking funding in Rochester's in the toilet. Like, I was like, God
sick.
damn, fucking.
That guy's a saint.
Yeah, bro, I was wild.
So let me ask you this then, since we're talking about that. Your favorite podcast you've ever done? Your favorite guest?
Shit, that's so tough. I mean, I feel like I have to say Conway.
Ooh.
Um,
What number are you at now?
I recorded 197.
Okay.
Damn.
Around
73?
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking work
Yeah.
to do.
Conway was number 1. I just have different like connections to different ones. Like,
For different reasons.
yeah, but I would have to say Conway, man. Like when I was 17 and I met Conway, there was no reason for him to talk to me then. So for them to then do my podcast 5 years later,
Right.
like,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
and when he's famous, like I
That's true.
met him when he was in, like no one really knew him. Like, and for him to still respect and then to like put it on a track.
Yeah.
Like I had,
That's
yeah,
big. That's
that
pretty
one.
big.
Crime Apple was pretty dope. Shit.
You heard that? I heard a gun. Dream guest.
Shit. Lil Wayne, Action Bronson.
You can't pick 7 of them, just one. Doesn't have
Those
to
are
be.
pretty
Doesn't have to
solid.
be an artist.
Yeah, I'm thinking who's.
If you could talk to one person in the world, sit them in the room and talk to them. Who is it?
Dead or alive?
Alive.
Joe Rogan.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be a fire ass conversation.
West Side Gun.
Did you do West Side Gun yet?
Nah.
Okay. West Side Gun is a fucking
I
motivation.
want to talk to West
inspiration.
Side Gun. That's such a hard question. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many. I don't do the podcast for guests. Like you were saying that. It's like anyone can fill that spot. My podcast is my journal. It just happens to that cool people sit across
But
from
if
me
I'm
while
just
I'm
saying,
talking.
if
like,
God
Cool.
came
yeah,
up to you while you're on
I'd be like, yo,
DMT,
God, you want to get on a podcast right now?
and you're on DMT, and God was like, you know what?
Doing this.
I want you to have a conversation. It could be whatever you feel in the moment. If you were to have a conversation with one person right now in the very moment, is it Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I think Joe Rogan will be a fucking fire one.
I said Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, yeah.
Is that you interviewing him, or are you a guest on his
Me
show?
interviewing him.
That's a good one.
That's something you don't see a lot of.
Yeah.
We recently did one with Mike Tyson.
I didn't watch it, but like
Yeah.
I saw that he was on that. Yeah, I just want to know who people are. Like when I interview someone, I don't prepare any questions. I don't do.
Okay.
I just want to know who they are.
It's
Like I don't even care if they like me. I don't care if the interview's good or not. I just want to know who they are as a person.
How many podcasts have you done for
Other
others?
people.
Yeah.
between 20 and 50 probably.
Damn.
Because a lot of comedians have like every comedian
Yeah.
has a podcast. So
They
like
should.
I've done a lot of like
Moment of truth. Where do we rank in this 20 to 50?
pretty high up. Honestly, dude, I'm in Miami right now. You were
I'm in
like,
Miami,
Let's go.
like for you bringing me out here, like for me to be able to do this is definitely high up. The hospitality, us driving around beforehand, you bringing me into your home, like the live, like just being able to talk. It's definitely like I'm having a good, honestly, like this is one of those moments where I'm like, I'll always think about like, oh shit, I went down to Miami, did the dance in front.
I
Like,
appreciate that, man.
no,
I
for
appreciate
real,
that.
like definitely high up. And I also like, I respect what you guys do, and I also look up to what you guys, because it's cool. See, people think that there's so many like slices to a pie, but it's like, nah. Like there's a world where Playboy Cardi, West Side Gun, fucking Black Thought,
Yeah,
fucking
real shit, yeah.
2 Chainz, like are all the same shit. Like
Right, true.
like
and not,
I was in a
so I take from what you guys do, and I hope you see what I do, and like take shit. It's like I love this shit. Like
absolutely, I appreciate that too. I was in a sauna one day, and that's usually when people want to talk their shit, right? And this dude's talking about business plans, and he's talking about selling merchandise, and he's like, I feel like too many people do it though, so I don't know if that's the right lane to go. And I was like, tell me which industry do you not know too many people in?
Yeah.
What? Podcasting? Too many people. Music? Too many people. Matter of fact, they've been doing music since the beginning of time. They're still doing it, and people are still getting rich off of it.
The day before I recorded my first episode ever, 15 of my so-called closest like friends in comedy told me, don't do a podcast. Why the fuck would you do a podcast?
How wrong were they?
None of them are doing shit now. I could
right.
literally, I could
And
write.
at least 2 of them are doing a podcast.
Exactly. I could
know what I mean?
write out everyone's name that was there and literally go, not doing shit, not doing shit, not doing shit, not doing shit. Like, and that's not even in a rude way. It's just their mentality limited them.
And that's why I hate talking to people about a lot of ideas, is because a lot of people be like, oh, that's not going to work. And you know what? That never affected me, and that never scared me to not do it.
Good.
I'm always like, but I see it happen to a lot of people. And that's why I always give my advice, because I'm not afraid, but at the same time, I'll look at somebody and I'm like, man, if I give this person this advice, they're probably going to fucking shy away from doing something great. You know what I mean? Because I like being honest with people and saying, like, just so you know, it's going to be hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be something that you go into and like, boom, success.
And you got to sacrifice your life for that.
Exactly, you do. And you know what? You said that earlier. It's like you gotta dive in 100% and sacrifice your life. I feel like not always, because you can set yourself up in such a way that when you dive into these things, you're still good. I told you this before we had this conversation. I was like, you know what? Like, I set up so many things in my path, like my car, my girl, my child, my business, that like, let's say a fucking rainy, stormy fucking day comes, stormy month. I'm gonna feel a lot better by my location. I'm gonna feel a lot better when I hop in my car, I take a ride, and I'm in sunny South Florida, and I could do some risky ass driving. And I'm gonna land back in my driveway, re-energized, recharged. And so when I'm going 100% into something, I don't have to like lose myself into it. You know what I mean? I could dive in knowing that when I clock out, whichever way I clock out, because we have to learn that we have to develop a skill of being in something. Because right now I'm in the podcast. I'm in full blown podcast mode. The minute I walk out this door and I grab my girl and my child, it changes. I'm not podcast. I'm not Danza anymore. You know what I mean? Like I told you, Danza was a character to kind of just run away, even though Danza is me. You know what I mean? I won't say Danza is somebody fake. This is me 100% of the way, but this is me being super open, super direct. When I'm in that room with my girl and my son, I could still be open and direct, but it's different. I have to do it with love. You know what I mean? I have to do it with care. I have to do it with fucking finesse. Here is just raw, uncut, like we talk about. This is the podcast. It's live, raw, and uncut. And I could do that, but I also could understand that this character is too strong for a dad, for a husband.
I feel exactly, but that's where I feel I'm 24 years old.
Absolutely.
Everything is too, like, I feel like now's the time that I can sacrifice my life.
Absolutely. I agree.
Like, and when I say I can go fully in because I don't have anything to support. Like there's no one's on my back. No one needs me.
Right.
No, like I can sacrifice my life, and that's why I do love, because I see myself using that. Like I see myself getting
Do
through.
you feel like you're unhappy in your love life?
In my love life? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't like the answer. I think you pondered it a little bit too much.
I am thinking, because it's
prefer,
like,
would you prefer?
I like having a girl. Like I like being, but I don't like like. I've never been settled. How can I settle when I'm not settled? I don't have my own place to live. I'm always on the road. Like
what you want is the right one.
Yeah,
one that'll accept you for who you are and let you do your own thing.
Also, I don't have like,
and that
I'm not stable right now.
Sparks
I just need to be
vagina.
stable. Like I just need I need to be stable before I can like bring a girl into my life. Because I had a girl a couple months ago that I thought like, oh shit, this is a person I actually would want to like
spend some time with.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then she was.
And then I realized she couldn't.
What are you doing at Burger King?
Parked in front of the McDonald's.
John, is that you?
She couldn't handle how fast my life moved.
Absolutely. It has to be super tough because you're traveling, you're out there all the time.
So that's why it's like, I don't have like, I go places. It's not like people come to my studio. It's not like I have money to like, I don't have a stable source of income yet. I don't have a stable place to live yet. It's just like, how could I bring a girl into that? It would be unfair to them, I feel.
Absolutely. Right. But there's also that one out there.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
And that's
like,
why
that
it's
would,
like,
that would totally accept it. And it's definitely something that's fucking super.
The reason I say that is because I went through that. And then the past like 2-3 months, I went through one of the worst hoe phases of my life.
best or worse?
It's the worst and the best.
Yeah, but now I'm like, damn, now I don't even care about I don't care about pussy
empty.
no more.
Yeah.
Like I got everything I needed out of it.
That's a good place to be, though. That's a powerful place to be.
I'll tell you what, I've also been that type of dude, and I'll say what is the hardest thing about that. I always think of like what I say, but I don't give a fuck what people think about me or what I say. Like fucking sits there, cause contrary. I'm 3 years with one pussy.
Hey,
all right. It's just graphic, right?
You should hear my stand up.
No, I mean it's graphic for a relationship.
No,
it's
I
like, what?
understand.
Excuse me, what is that supposed to mean? You know what I mean? But 3 years with one, and most men my age, younger, older, same shit. Most men would not believe that. Most women won't believe that. But it's almost like men hold on to something of what they believe the world should move like, right? They can't do it because of this or they can't do it because of that. It's a super difficult thing for men to do, is to stay faithful, right? But I'm 36 now, and I've been in a relationship for about 3 years. And prior, I've done that. And don't get me wrong, the thrill, the fun, it is. All right. There is a thrill to it. There's excitement to it. The thing is just like I was saying earlier, there's a heaven and a hell. You walk into hell when you do it. if you decide to stay in that relationship, because now you actually have to move through with the secrets, and those are some deep secrets.
Yeah.
Like people have their secrets and do their shit, but those secrets are fucking. You got to protect that shit because you don't know what happens to you, right? Like,
Oh my
that's a
god,
scary fucking.
I slipped up and I told one girl I was hooking up with a story that another girl told me.
Oh,
And
man.
it's like that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, and even that I felt bad. So like,
Yeah, like
like,
it's a
Oh,
tough
man.
thing, and you know, even when I was younger and I was doing dirt, I always had that guilty conscience, and it's hard to navigate through life the proper way when you have that. And so I could tell you this: in my last 3 years since I've been with only one vagina, I've definitely moved the furthest and the fastest because I don't have that thought of I'm gonna get caught.
mm-hmm.
You know what
Or
I
that
mean?
you're chasing. Cause like every night I'm like, damn, I can go fuck another girl right now. Or I can go back and cut clips for my podcast.
Absolutely,
Or go
yeah.
write stand up. Or I can
So
damn
would
this
you
girl.
rather have one that is solid, that is the exact way you want her to be,
Yeah, 100%.
or and
But see, I'm at the phase in life where that last chick, the one who told me all that bad stuff about me, I thought was that chick. So
Yeah.
now I'm like, every time I meet a girl, I compare her to her.
Of course.
yeah,
And then it's like, that's why
that
it's like,
wall
who
up.
oh,
like-
because I want you back.
exactly. So it's
in my
like,
life.
I'm
Said I
also,
want you back.
I'm gonna wait till I have like an apartment.
There you go. So what do? You just move through
Yeah, like I can live at home when I need to, and then
Family?
I can and then I
pops,
can
moms?
either
Okay, that's
grandma
what's
if
up.
I need to. Like I
Right.
don't have a one like
So you're a nomad.
yeah.
That's
Stay in
fire.
hotels. I'll crash
It's
on a
cool.
like
I
my
told you I admire
studio.
that about you. I
Thank
really
you,
do.
man. My studio's in Manhattan, my
Right.
podcast studio, and so like I'll sleep on the couch there when I'm in Manhattan. Like yeah,
Right.
it's just whatever. Like that's what I mean. Sacrificing my life is I really
Mm,
have like, and I love it, and I am happy, and I'm so
Right.
happy I did. But like,
let's go.
I'm not
You're
like
not done yet.
exactly like
So let's close it out the right way. You're at a 2.
uh-huh.
What does 100 look like?
That I'm undeniable. That what I do is undeniable. That my podcast, not even my podcast, my 100 is that my stand up is undeniable, and that I'm looked back on that I inspired people. I wanted to say I wanted to people look back and like what I do, but no, I want to inspire because like I don't think I'm the best. I'm not a good podcaster. I'm not a good stand up. That's what like I'm not, but I
Yeah.
still do it, and that's what pushes me farther than anyone else. When I say my podcast is a self-help podcast, I hope they watch my podcast go, he's fucking doing it, I can do it. And that's where the self-help he fucking talked to Conway. How the fuck can I not do what I want to do? He's a like
Right.
he can't even speak proper. He's a fucking like that's I want to inspire people. Like that's I want to be undeniable that I inspired people to do what they want to do.
Fire.
That's 100.
I like that.
Let's go.
I like that.
How about you? I want to ask you. What number do you think you're at? And what's 100?
I've definitely answered this question before, probably when it was just a few of us in the room without a guest. I look at my life as like this marathon. I'm a huge Nipsey fan, by the way. There you go, Nipsey.
All right.
My guy. All right here. It's a marathon. I look at the marathon and I think of 4 laps. Large laps. Right. So I think I just not too long ago I completed my first lap. I think I have a understanding of how life operates. And now I just need to, like I ran the first lap. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. Now I need to make better decisions. I'm on my second lap. I would say I'm at like a 30, 32. Um, there's so much for me to learn. It's 100. A lot of people will look at me and people have told me, "Oh, you're rich," because I drive a nice car or because I have some nice things. Um, I would say rich is when I can truly chill and value the people that I have around me in the way they want to be valued. You know what I mean? In a way
Mhm.
that they understand it. Because everybody has what is like a different love language, and that goes for your close people and everybody around you. I want to be able to appreciate people the best I can to the way they truly want to feel that, so they understand that I do. Um, and that's where I'm at. I'm at 32 now. I'm moving past. I think last time I would have said like 25 or some shit like that. I think
Yeah.
I ran a little bit past it now because this is starting to get there.
And I think that's a scale for my because I want a best friend and a partner, a wife. I want
Mm.
a kid, an only child. I want to be fit and happy. Like, there's other things other than like the business
Nah, yeah,
that
hell
play
yeah.
into
Right.
it. Like, but that shit's later to worry about.
Absolutely. I'm 36.
That's funny you're
at
talking about
24, I
4
would say.
laps. Because you're definitely more than 1 lap in.
It seems like that.
Because
You
I
would-
feel like I just passed my first lap where I now finally know how the world actually works.
Mm.
Like, I've seen, like,
The two most important days of your life are the day you are born and then the day you find out why. Mark Twain. I feel like that quote is excellent. I live by it.
I never heard that quote, but I always say everyone in their life has to make the decision. And you know what the decision is. And if you
I even
don't, then
like
you're
that
not
one.
ready for the decision.
I even like that one. And I'm gonna tweak both of them. Because I love that. The two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. It was in the beginning of a movie. And you said your quote was what? The decision?
Oh, you have to make. There's a point in your life where everyone has to make the decision.
Right. And those quotes are great, but there's more than one decision. And there's more than one day you figure out why. I believe that you find out your why at least 7 times in life. At least. So at 24 years old, when you say you just figured out life,
No. I just figured out how life
works. I'm gonna tell you this because I'm 36. I would say not yet. Slow down. You figured out how a portion of it works, but trust me, as you start navigating more and more, it's gonna get like the puzzles start coming in. It's like, wait a second, I thought I had this figured out.
Yeah, every time
this
you
shit
get
is
to the
so much different than because it's just like anything in this world.
But I also said 2 out of 100. I don't think I know.
I understand completely what you're saying. So I'm kind of like breaking it down into where you said you feel like I'm past my first lap. I don't, and I feel like that because I know that I just figured something out, and it took me a while to get to this. It took me falling, but this is step 2 of okay, I got it figured out. But I know there's so much more obstacles about to come my way.
Yeah.
And so like I gotta get prepared for that fucking battle. I mean, you look at fucking Dr. Dre, like that motherfucker has to have it figured out. He's a fucking billionaire. Goes through a heavy fucking divorce. He's got to refigure out life. He's a billionaire. You're like, a billionaire has this much successful thing, did all this successful thing. He had to be at 100. He was at 50. You know what I mean? Like, Bill Gates, this fucking guy is like fucking legendary. He goes down, He goes through his divorce and his issues and the fucking world scrutinizing him and shit like that. Where was he? He's changing his path now. Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk. That I feel like that dude's a legend. I think if I were to sit down with one person, I want to sit down with him. Legend. I think he might be the closest to it. Like the way his brain operates. But I mean, he's a scatterbrain too. So I feel like if I'm definitely just around the first lap.
You were talking about analytics and shit.
Yep.
And something that really is weird to me is the people that listen to me are all older than me. My average age of listeners is 35 to 45.
Really?
Not 25 to 35, 35 to 45, which is weird to me. Like,
that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to, like, but that's why it's like, I don't know. I don't even know how that plays into it.
I mean,
but
because
it's like-
you do have. I believe that your conversations are very grown up. You know, I mean, yeah, you're a comedian and shit like that, but when you're talking to people, you're truly, genuinely, actually getting to know the person and asking them fucking amazing questions.
Thank you.
You're a good question asker. And like I told you, I'm like, if I were to tell you like where you needed to step up, it would only be in like you're a do-it-yourself guy. You know, if you had a team, they would make it look even better for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But see,
as far as the content you're delivering,
I need to make money.
You know what I mean?
That's
If
my
you-
next
yeah,
step.
no,
Setting up the Patreon. I'm getting more ads.
Yeah.
Like, that's my next step is like, I had money. Now I'm like, oh shit, I gotta make
especially with the
money.
fucking life you live. I
Yeah.
told you pay a lot of money just in gasoline. He said, I'm a fly to Boston.
I drove 55,000 miles in 1 year.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
gosh.
I'm on like 8 to 10.
That's a lot of driving.
That's even a lot. I don't think I even do 8 to 10.
55 in 1 year.
That's a lot of driving.
And that's not even included the long drives I do in my friend's car. Like, my friend will drive me to Buffalo. Like that, you know?
Yeah,
I'm probably
fuck that,
upwards
bro.
of like
I
fucking...
couldn't be in it. I mean, I don't mind long drives all the time, but doing it often, 55,000 miles, I feel like
I know that this all
freak out.
going back to the gut, I know it'll all pay off.
Right.
I know that I'm not doing this for nothing.
Right. So not a lot of people find it as early as you have. And one thing that you have going for you, you have a certain sense of not just confidence, but it's almost like you've been here before. You keep saying, I'm only 24. I'm only 24. I would think I was speaking to somebody much older. And I'm sure that comes across in your 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour podcast when you're speaking to people who most of the time probably are older than you.
Yeah. I also know I look like shit for 24. So
They said, watch out for these potholes. Word. That's how life is, though. There's a lot of potholes in life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not in Florida.
You can find them. You go to the right spot.
Yeah, you got to go to the right spot. Over where I'm from, and in cold climates, you probably have a lot of
Oh,
potholes.
so
over there.
many fucking
Yeah,
potholes.
fucking Buffalo is like filled with them. Buffalo, you could walk down the street and sprain your ankle on a pothole. So many potholes there. It's fucking gross. I think I don't live there anymore.
Oh.
Anyways, yo,
Thank you.
my man, fucking dope ass
Thank you,
podcast.
sir.
The conversation on here was phenomenal the entire fucking way.
Go.
You know what I mean? It was literally fucking what? 2 hours and 46 minutes
Damn.
of fucking phenomenal content.
Hello.
We picked a theme song. Well, we picked some of the. We
Couple-
narrowed it
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Narrowed it down.
By the way, Mile High, MA from Mile High Music, Mario, who's actually really good friends with Shots,
No.
is the one with the sound bites in it.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Okay.
So
We gotta have them fight to the death.
So Mario,
Yeah,
Shots,
showdown.
and Joey Blanco
Okay.
are the three that we're gonna post online. We'll do a little slide, and then
Just those three?
that's what are we gonna pick? The top 7?
Well, I mean, just to post
Nah,
all 10.
we
Oh.
fucking said we sat here. We got on live and we said we're gonna give Sam Buck the platform, and we picked the top 3.
Uh-huh.
And the top 3.
I won't get butt
So
hurt,
then-
whatever you choose. Don't worry.
No, I'm just saying.
So then they'll pick from the 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Shots, Joey Blanco,
Mario.
and MA.
Okay.
Those are the top 3.
When?
I guess we'll fucking throw him up on a if Landon could do it. I don't know how to fucking make it look cool, but we'll throw a slide out today or tomorrow or the day after or whatever the fuck it is, and we'll let people vote.
Okay.
And then whichever one is the one.
Let's go.
And thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely,
Show, man. This is
thank you for coming out. That this was fucking dope. This was a great conversation.
Talked about if Jesus is real.
Yeah. If he came back to life.
All of it.
Yeah, they're coming for us. It's happening. Anyways, episode 73 wrapping up. Sam Buck. Make sure you follow him on IG at Bucked Up Podcast.
Yes, sir.
BUCKEDUPPODCAST. Also on YouTube, youtube.com/Bucked Up Podcast as well.
So you got your
Yes, sir.
You got your
Okay.
stand up going on too? Is any of that stuff online as well? In case anybody
Yeah,
You just did a
um,
show last night. out
Last
here
night in Miami. Yeah, follow me on Instagram to see my dates. I'm hitting 7 states in 30 days doing
Let's
comedy.
go.
I'm
Let's go.
hitting probably like 20 comedy dates
Serious.
in
Fire.
the next 30 days.
That's
yeah.
the makings of a true comic right there.
Thank you, man.
Traveling
Oh, yeah.
and getting
Thank
that
you.
working on the
Hard
road.
motherfucking work.
Road
If you're
work.
in Miami, I'm doing a show tomorrow. I don't know where yet, so follow me on Instagram to find that
There you
out.
go. All right, my brother.
Man, thank you.
Landon,
very
you can
much.
sign
Yeah,
us
sir.
off. Thank you.